Chapter 862. Rumor has it that there is a mysterious ruin in the void. There are spiritual herbs, spiritual plants, and a large number of precious ores everywhere. However, this ruin is erratic and has no fixed location. It is very difficult to find. However, the immortal essence grass seems to have a connection with this ruin. Rumor has it that finding the immortal essence grass is an opportunity to find this ruin. Qi Mufeng said slowly. There is such a good place? Su Chen was tempted. Not to mention other things, just the large number of precious ores had aroused his interest. This was because the intelligent chariot, the golden puppet, and even the strange fire spirit pet needed to consume high-quality ores to advance to a higher level. However, did the ruins really exist? It was still unknown. However, since he knew this news, he would definitely not miss it. Satoshi, find Tuotsang Mountain. Go immediately. Su Chen ordered. Tuotsang Mountain was only 1,000 miles away from here. The intelligent chariot found the specific location and sped away. Su Chen glanced at Xiaoyu, then broke his neck and threw him out of the car. 1,000 miles was less than an hour's journey for the intelligent chariot. When they arrived at Tuotsang Mountain, Su Chen unexpectedly found on the central control screen that Tuotsang Mountain was densely covered with a large number of blue dots. There were as many as thousands of people. Are they all looking for the immortal essence grass? Su Chen was a little suspicious. Then he let the intelligent chariot land on the ground. Wait in the car. I will go out and ask around. Su Chen instructed and got out of the car alone. Soon he found an old man and asked, "Uncle, why are there so many people in Tuotsang Mountain? What are you all doing?" The old man looked at Su Chen and said, "You just came here, right? I heard that 2 very magical spiritual herbs appeared in Tuotsang Mountain. We are all looking for them." Su Chen nodded secretly and asked calmly, "What are the 2 spiritual herbs for?" "We don't know the specifics." The old man shook his head and continued. However, the Zheng family of Fengyuan City has posted a notice saying that anyone who finds a spiritual herb can exchange it for 100,000 energy stones. The Zheng family? Could it be Zheng Tao's family? Su Chen muttered, then asked, "Have you found the spiritual grass yet?" "I heard that they found one and sent it to the Zheng family," the old man said enviously. Su Chen's face darkened slightly. He was determined to get the 2 stalks of immortal essence grass. No matter what the Zheng clan's background was, he had to snatch them back. However, he still had to find the other one first. After greeting the old man, Su Chen hurriedly returned to the intelligent chariot. "Su Chen, what's going on?" Qi Mufeng asked as soon as Su Chen got into the car. Su Chen told him the news he got from the old man. The immortal essence grass is very spiritual and good at hiding. It seems that there must be a treasure-hunting spiritual pet among the people searching in Tuotsang Mountain. Qi Mufeng analyzed. "Brother Qi, you come with me. The rest of you stay here," Su Chen said. Qi Mufeng had some understanding of the immortal essence grass. He could be of some help if he went with them. After a while, Su Chen took Swift Bird and left the intelligent chariot with Qi Mufeng. Behind them, the 2 of them walked for more than half an hour. When they passed by a call, Swift Bird suddenly said excitedly, "Master, I feel the aura of the immortal essence grass." Chapter 863. Where is it? Su Chen asked anxiously. "It's in the kernel. I can feel its aura, but I can't pinpoint its exact location," the Swift Bird replied immediately. Su Chen squinted his eyes and scanned the kernel. However, he saw piles of rocks everywhere, and there was not even a shadow of a plant. Su Chen exclaimed softly. He instantly released his mental strength to search, but he found nothing. "Su Chen, could it be a mistake?" Qi Mufeng asked. "Probably not." Su Chen replied as he condensed a lightning ball in his hand. It emitted a terrifying wave of lightning, and even Qi Mufeng felt his heart palpitate. "I know you're hiding here. If you don't come out, I'll throw the lightning ball." Su Chen scanned the call and shouted coldly. He had absolute trust in the Swift Bird's ability. Since the Swift Bird could feel the aura of the immortal essence grass, it meant that the immortal essence grass must be in the kernel. It just used a special method to hide its body. The purpose of condensing the lightning ball was to scare the immortal essence grass and force it to show its true body. As if it could feel the terrifying power of the lightning ball, an inconspicuous rock in the call suddenly emitted a green light. After a series of changes, a palm-sized green plant appeared. Different from ordinary plants, this plant not only emitted a strong wave of spiritual chi, but it also had 4 limbs and a head. If it was not for the green leaves covering its body, it would have looked similar to a human. "Master, that's it," the swift bird reminded. When the immortal essence grass saw Su-Chen, it seemed to be very afraid. Without saying anything, it ran away. Its speed was very fast, almost comparable to a level 9 evolver. Su-Chen was already prepared. His mental strength swept over and easily bound the immortal essence grass, pulling it to his side. "Let me go." The immortal essence grass was terrified and struggled with all its might. However, in front of Su-Chen's spiritual power, all struggles were futile. Su-Chen sized him up. Just as he was about to speak, dozens of powerful auras suddenly appeared behind him. "Su-Chen, someone is coming," Qi Mufeng reminded. Su-Chen turned around and saw more than 10 men rushing over. The leader was a rough-looking middle-aged man. Judging from his aura, he was a level 10 cultivator. Furthermore, there was a rat-like demonic beast standing on his shoulder. When these people came closer, they very tacitly surrounded Su-Chen and Li Yunhong. "What's the matter, everyone?" Su-Chen rubbed his nose and said indifferently. The boorish man stared intently at Su-Chen, but when he saw the immortal elemental grass in Su-Chen's hand and the swift bird flying above his head, his eyes lit up. "No wonder you could find the spiritual grass. It's because of the swift bird." The boorish man muttered as if no one was around. Then he sneered at Su-Chen and said, "Kid, hand over the spiritual grass and the swift bird." "Why should I hand it over to you?" Su-Chen laughed. Seeing Su-Chen's calm expression, as if he did not take him seriously, the boorish man's face darkened. He laughed sinisterly and said, "I was planning to spare your life just now. Since you don't know what's good for you, then go to hell." As soon as he finished speaking, he waved his hand and shouted, "Let's go together and kill him." Immediately, the group of experts surrounding them rushed towards Su-Chen. "Su-Chen, leave it to me." Qi Mufeng held a long sword and slashed it in the air. Thousands of cold light flashed across, and the dozen people who rushed forward were instantly cut into pieces. They did not even know how they died. Qi Mufeng was also one of the best among Stage 1 martial saints. This slash fully displayed his strength. Chapter 864. Witnessing this scene, the boorish man was scared out of his wits. His back was drenched in cold sweat, killing more than a dozen powerhouses with a single slash. Perhaps only a saint-level powerhouse could have such strength. Realizing that Qi Mufeng was a saint-level powerhouse, the boorish man took a deep breath and said in a trembling voice, "Senior, I was wrong. I'll leave now." Su-Chen chuckled and said sarcastically, "Didn't you threaten to kill me?" Gulp. The boorish man swallowed his saliva and begged for mercy. "Senior, I was blind. I shouldn't have offended you. I can give you energy stones as compensation." Su-Chen glanced coldly at the boorish man and asked, "Someone found an immortal essence grass here. That person was you, right? Where is the immortal essence grass?" Previously, he learned from the old man that one of the immortal essence grass had been sent to the Zheng family in Fengyuan City. However, he still needed to confirm whether this was the case. "Senior, that immortal essence grass has been sold to the Zheng family," the boorish man hurriedly replied. Su-Chen nodded slightly and said mockingly, "Then you're useless." As soon as he finished speaking, he released his mentality to bind the boorish man. Then, he dashed forward and punched the boorish man's head. At this moment, hundreds of people gathered around. They were all attracted by the sound of fighting just now. They just happened to witness the boorish man being killed by Su-Chen with a single punch. Suddenly, a feeling of fear spread in their hearts. The boorish man was a true level 10 cultivator. They knew very well that he was abnormally strong. However, he was casually killed by the young man in front of them. From this, It could be seen how terrifying this young man was. Perhaps they were worried that they would be implicated, so they stopped for a moment and retreated. They came quickly and ran even faster. In the blink of an eye, they had run several miles away. "Brother Chi, let's go back," Suchin called out. The immortal essence grass had been found. The purpose of this trip had been achieved. Next, he had to hurry to Fengyuan City and get his hands on the other immortal essence grass. Back in the car, Suchin first ordered the intelligent war chariot to go to Fengyuan City, and then said to the immortal yuan grass, "Don't worry, I won't hurt you. Of course, you have to be sensible." "Senior, what are your orders?" After witnessing Su Chen's strength, the immortal yuan grass knew that there was no way it could escape. Hence, its attitude became respectful. "There is a ruin in the void. There are many spiritual plants and ores in it. You should have some impression of it, right?" Su Chen asked straightforwardly. The immortal essence grass thought for a moment and replied, "Senior, there is a map in my memory. There is a location marked on it. I wonder if it is the place you are looking for?" "Really?" Su Chen's eyes lit up. At first, he didn't have much hope. However, after hearing the words of the immortal essence grass, that void ruin should really exist. "Draw the map." Su Changjiang ordered as he threw the immortal elemental grass in front of the central control screen. The immortal essence grass didn't dare to disobey. It began to draw the map on the central control screen. After about half an hour, a map of the void appeared on the central control screen. Su Chen glanced at it and said to Qi Mufeng, "Brother Qi, do you know this place?" Qi Mufeng looked at it for a long time and shook his head. "This map is not complete. I can't tell at the moment." Su Chen frowned slightly. He turned to the immortal essence grass and said, "Does your companion have a map too?" There were 2 immortal essence grasses in total. The one in front of him had a map. The other one should have a map too. If the 2 maps were combined, it should be complete. Chapter 865. Senior, there is indeed a void map in my companion's memory, the immortal essence grass promised. "That's good." Su Chen nodded and continued to ask, "How did you appear in Mount Tuatsong?" The 2 immortal essence grasses had a map in their memories. "Who left this map for them? What was the purpose?" "Senior, we don't know either. We've been staying in Mount Tuatsong since we were young," the immortal essence grass replied truthfully. Unable to figure out the situation for a while, Su Chen did not bother about this. He stared at the immortal essence grass and said lightly, "I'll give you a choice. Are you willing to follow me?" "Choice?" The immortal essence grass laughed bitterly in its heart. It was very sure that if it did not agree, Su Chen would definitely not let it go. Therefore, although Su Chen seemed to be giving it a choice, it did not have a choice at all. "Master, I'm willing to follow you." The immortal essence grass was very tactful. A smile appeared on Su Chen's lips, and then he sent it into the plant dimension. As soon as the immortal essence grass entered the plant dimension, it felt that it was full of vigorous vitality and was completely stunned. Su Chen introduced the immortal essence grass to the longevity fruit tree. After chatting for a while, he closed the plant dimension. As there was still half a day to reach Fengyuan City, Su Chen sent the mechanical heart that he had obtained earlier to the golden puppet. He then reminded it, "Otetsu, this ore contains a mechanical heart. I'll leave it to you to handle." There were still 2 saint-level puppets in the storage bag. One mechanical heart could only revive one. He was not sure which of the 2 was stronger, so he simply let the golden puppet handle it on its own. "Su Chen, thank you." The golden puppet said gratefully. "Helping you is also helping myself. You don't have to be so polite with me." Su Chen chuckled softly. The golden puppet was now definitely by his side. Helping it to improve its strength was a matter of course. After the intelligent war chariot drove for about an hour, the swift bird suddenly warned, "Master, I feel that danger is approaching us." Someone still dared to cause trouble? Su Chen frowned slightly. Ever since he entered Qingyan Island, he had already killed quite a number of experts. His powerful strength had already been revealed, so who would dare to come looking for trouble? Now that he was in a hurry to go to Fengyuan City to look for the immortal essence grass, he did not want to waste any time. However, if the other party was really coming for him, he could only deal with them first. Satoshi, search the area, Su Chen ordered. Master, there are 2 saint-level experts flying towards us. The intelligent war chariot immediately replied and transmitted the image to the central control screen. 2 saints? Su Chen raised his eyebrows and looked at the central control screen. The central control screen clearly showed the figures of the 2 men. One of them was dressed in a white robe with 5 swords on his back. He looked to be in his 30s. The other person was a stooped old man. He looked to be in his 70s, but his eyes were bright and there was a hint of ruthlessness in them. Su Chen had never seen these 2 people before. Just as he was wondering if they were coming for him, Qi Mufeng said with a solemn expression, Su Chen, that white-robed man is called Han Jianqi. He is the 7th strongest expert in the Han family. When Qi Muxue and Qi Mu heard Han family, their expressions suddenly changed. Han family? Su Chen muttered. His eyes suddenly lit up and he asked, so, the Han family is also a big force in the void? And this Han Jianqi is a foreign race? Killing foreign races could drop fragments, especially saint-level experts. The number of fragments dropped could reach tens of thousands. Su Chen was already tempted. Chapter 866. Qi Mufeng nodded. The Han family belongs to the Mo clan and is indeed a great force in the void. They are even stronger than our Qi family. Su Chen's expression froze. The Qi family had a 5th stage saint stage ancestor. If the Han family was stronger than the Qi family, could it be that they had a 6th stage saint stage ancestor? Brother Qi, does the Han family have a 6th stage saint stage ancestor? Su Chen probed. No. Qi Mufeng shook his head and explained, the Han family has 3 5th stage saint stage experts. Su Chen suddenly understood. 3 5th stage saint stage experts were indeed much stronger than the Qi family. Su Chen, it's best not to clash with Han Jianqi. Qi Mufeng reminded. Su Chen stared blankly at Qi Mufeng, waiting for him to continue. Although Han Jianqi is only a 1st stage saint stage expert, his swordsmanship is abnormally profound. Moreover, the 5 swords on his back are all saint stage artifacts. His true strength far surpasses his peers. There was once a rumor that Han Jianqi killed 3 2nd stage saint stage void beasts by himself. Qi Mufeng slowly explained. Hearing this, Shang Kai Li and the others' expressions changed. Su Chen, if you can't handle it, let's avoid him first. Wu Yazi reminded in a low voice. As a former saint stage expert, he had fought with void beasts several times and had a deep understanding of their strength. It could be said that void beasts were much stronger than cultivators of the Myriad Races Alliance in the same realm. However, Han Jianqi was able to kill 3 void beasts that were 1 stage higher than him by himself. This was enough to show his peerless strength. Su Chen narrowed his eyes and said indifferently, no need. If Han Jianqi dares to come looking for trouble, I will definitely kill him. Since he had chosen the path of invincibility, there was no possibility of retreat. If he did, it would have a fatal impact on his state of mind. How could he become the strongest in the future? Furthermore, with the many tricks he had up his sleeves, he really didn't put Han's Sword 7 in his eyes. Seeing that Su Chen had made up his mind, Wu Yazi and the others didn't say anything more. Behind him, Su Chen simply asked the intelligent war chariot to stop and wait. He wanted to see if Han Jianqi was really here for him. More than 10 minutes later, Han Jianqi and the other 2 arrived in front of the intelligent war chariot. The people inside, come out for this old man. The hunchbacked old man walked down from the aircraft and shouted loudly. They really are coming for me. Su Chen pursed his lips, opened the car door, and slowly walked out. Qi Mufeng did not hesitate and followed closely behind Su Chen. Wu Yazi and the others did the same. Why are you looking for me? Su Chen glanced at the stooped old man and said calmly. You massacred my Shi family. Why do you think I'm looking for you? The stooped old man's old face was extremely gloomy as he snorted coldly. So you're the ancestor of the Shi family. Su Chen came to a realization and then asked, then what are you going to do? Kill yourself here, and I can leave your corpses intact." The ancestor of the Shi family laughed sinisterly. Hearing this, Wu Yazi and the others showed a mocking look on their faces. An ordinary saint-level master dared to say such words to Su Qin. He was simply courting death. Su Qin was not angry. A mocking smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. "It's impossible for me to kill myself. Why don't you come over and kill me? Then this old man will fulfill your wish." The ancestor of the Shi family flew into a rage. Just as he was about to attack, he was stopped by Han Jianqi. "No hurry." Han Jianqi winked at the ancestor of the Shi family, then turned to Qi Mufeng and said, "Does your Qi family plan to participate in this matter?" Chapter 867. Su Qin is my sworn brother. His business is my business, Qi Mufeng's business. Qi Mufeng said solemnly. "What? He's Su Qin?" The old ancestor of the Shi clan cried out in shock. Looking at Su Qin, his eyes were filled with awe. The arrogance from before had disappeared without a trace. A person's reputation was like a tree's shadow. In the past few days, Su Qin had stirred up a storm in the human and alien continents, killing several saint-level experts. Unbridled, his name spread far and wide. The old ancestor of the Shi clan knew that he was definitely not Su Qin's opponent. His heart was suddenly filled with unease. When Han Jianqi heard the name, Su Qin, his eyes shone with a fiery light. Although Su Qin was only a human cultivator, his name was very resounding in the void. He had long wanted to meet Su Qin. "You're Su Qin?" Han Jianqi stared at Su Qin and asked sternly. "I am." Su Qin snorted and continued, "Also, let me warn you, don't look at me like that. I didn't kill your entire family." Han Jianqi's eyes were filled with hostility, which made him very unhappy. Han Jianqi laughed instead of getting angry. "I've long heard that you're unbridled, killing without a word. Seeing you today, you really live up to your reputation. Seems like you know me well." Su Qin rubbed his nose and said indifferently, "You want to stand up for the Shi clan?" "That was the case before, but now I've changed my mind." Han Jianqi narrowed his eyes and said calmly, "So you don't want to get involved?" Su Qin probed. If Han Jianqi was really tactful and didn't want to get involved, he wouldn't make things difficult for him. After all, there was no enmity between him and Han Jianqi. "I'm afraid you've misunderstood." Han Sword 7 shook his head and said mockingly, "My greatest hobby is to kill geniuses. Therefore, after learning of your identity, I want to completely destroy you. It has nothing to do with anyone else." "Like to kill geniuses?" Su Qin was slightly taken aback. He felt that this sentence was very familiar. Soon, he recalled that when he was in the Elven continent, didn't Gu Chuan, who was from the Spirit clan, call himself the Genius Destroyer? Su Qin chuckled. "There's a guy called Gu Chuan in the Spirit clan who is just like you. I just killed him a few days ago. Do you want to follow in his footsteps? Who does Gu Chuan think he is? How can he be compared to me, 7th Sword Han? You don't even have the qualifications to carry my shoes." Han Jianqi snorted disdainfully. It was as if in his eyes, Gu Chuan was like an ant. 7th Cold Sword, do you really want to go against us?" Qi Mufeng asked with a cold face. At first, he purposely said Su Qin's name, thinking that it would make Han Sword 7 wary. Unexpectedly, Han Sword 7's killing intense soared after learning of Su Qin's identity. "Go against us?" Han Sword 7 glanced at Qi Mufeng and said disdainfully, "Only Su Qin is qualified to exchange a few moves with me. Who do you think you are?" Qi Mufeng's face turned red and white. Whether it was in the Qi clan or the Void, he was qualified to be a genius. Who would have thought that he would be mercilessly humiliated by Han Sword 7? Qi Mufeng gritted his teeth and growled, "Han Sword 7, I want to challenge you." "Second brother, don't mess around." Qi Muyu was shocked and quickly stopped him. The difference in strength between Qi Mufeng and Han Sword 7 was too obvious. If things went wrong, he might be instantly killed. "You don't have the qualifications to challenge me." Han Sword 7 snorted and looked at Su Qin. He provoked, "You won't let the people around you die for you, right?" Chapter 868. I've given you a chance. Su Chen sighed and stepped forward. Looking at Han Jianqi, he said coldly, "If you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish." Shameless boasting. Han Jianqi's face changed ferociously, and he pointed at Su Chen from afar. Clang. A golden long sword flew out from his back and slashed down at Su Chen from the air. Han Jianqi's 5 long swords were all divine artifacts. Su Chen didn't dare to be careless. He raised his hand and threw out the original 5 Extremes mountain in front of him. Bang! The golden long sword slashed heavily on the original 5 Extremes mountain, making a dull sound of impact. "You're quite strong." Han Jianqi's eyes darkened, and he pointed again. Immediately, a fiery red long sword shot out from his back and slashed at the original 5 Extremes mountain together with the golden long sword. Bang bang bang, a series of loud noises rang out. The original 5 Extremes mountain was hit repeatedly, and the colorful flowing light on its surface showed signs of collapsing. "Let's see how long you can last." Han Jianqi grinned. Another earthen yellow sword flew out from his back as the 3 sacred tier swords attacked in unison. Boom! It actually sent the integrated 5 Extremes mountain flying. Seeing this scene, Wu Yazi and the others' faces changed dramatically, and they were all worried about Su Chen. You're just a cruel smile appeared on the mouth of the patriarch of the Shi family. In his opinion, Su Chen would definitely be killed on the spot without the protection of the divine artifacts. Die! Han Jianqi roared and controlled the 3 long swords to slash at Su Chen. At this point, Su Chen still didn't panic at all. Just as the 3 long swords were about to fly over his head, he held the sword of prohibition in his hand and swept it in the air. Bang bang bang! As soon as it touched Han Jianqi's 3 long swords, the power of prohibition was released. The 3 long swords buzzed and trembled as if they had lost control and fell from the air. Han Jianqi was horrified. At this moment, he clearly felt an inexplicable force cutting off his connection with the 3 swords. This situation was too strange, and he was stunned for a moment. However, right at this moment, Su Chen quickly put away the sword of prohibition and aimed at 7 sword of cold, unleashing drunken life. This punch didn't have the slightest whistling sound. It looked very ordinary, but when it locked onto Han's sword 7, a look of confusion appeared in his eyes. Su Chen seized the opportunity, rushed forward, and suddenly launched the 10,000 Lights 10 Shadows fighting skill. Against a super powerhouse like Han Swordsman, he couldn't give him any chance to breathe. In the next moment, the 11 Su Chens joined forces and launched a fierce attack. What divine ability is this? The ancestor of the Shi family widened his eyes filled with deep shock. It was also at this moment that Han Jianqi broke free from his confusion. When he saw several terrifying techniques and divine artifacts smashing toward him, his eyelids suddenly twitched. As if he had made a decision, he gritted his teeth, and a faint light suddenly shot out from his body and flew into the distance. There was a loud bang. Su Chen's attacks all fell. Han Jianqi's body was smashed into pieces without any resistance. Not even his bones were left. He's dead. The ancestor of the Shi family swallowed his saliva and his face turned ghastly pale. Han Jianqi was his greatest reliance. Without this reliance, his fate could be imagined. Su Chen won. Qi Mufeng and the others were all excited. But Su Chen didn't show the slightest hint of joy. Han Jianqi was an alien saint-level powerhouse. After he died, he would definitely drop a fragment. However, there was nothing in front of him, which meant that Han Jianqi was not dead. Thinking of this, Su Chen suddenly turned around and looked in the direction where the faint light had shot out. Chapter 869. You're more powerful than I thought. A cold voice echoed not far away. Then, in a flash of light, a figure slowly condensed. It was none other than Han Jianqi. Han Jianqi was still alive? Qi Mufeng and the others were shocked, while the patriarch of the Shi family was overjoyed. You destroyed my external incarnation. Unforgivable. Su Chen, you can die now. Han Jianqi's face was ferocious as he gritted his teeth and growled. His external incarnation was a life-saving magic that he had spent a lot of effort to cultivate. He didn't expect that it would be destroyed by Su-Chen. At this moment, his killing intent soared. He swore to kill Su-Chen completely. Buzz. The void trembled violently. 5 long swords flew above Han Jianqi's head, exuding extremely terrifying energy fluctuations. "Brother Qi, you guys step back," Su-Chen whispered and slowly pulled out the enchanted divine saber. "Everyone step back," Wu Yazi hurriedly called out. He knew that Su-Chen was about to use his ultimate move. Su-Chen's ultimate move was a combination of 2 types of magic and 2 types of heavenly flames. Its power was unparalleled. It could even destroy a second-stage saint-stage sacred tree of the elf clan. Once used, the range of the attack was very large. If one couldn't dodge in time, it would be easy to be injured. After Wu Yazi and the others had all retreated, Su-Chen looked at Han Jianqi and chuckled. "Han Jianqi, don't you like to destroy geniuses? Let's see who will destroy who today." Han Jianqi laughed wildly and said disdainfully, "The geniuses I met before were as arrogant as you, but they all died in my hands. You are no exception." As soon as he finished speaking, the 5 long swords above his head began to spin rapidly. In a dazzling 5-colored flame, the 5 long swords quickly merged into one, and the 5-colored flowing light on it kept gathering. "Kill!" Han Jianqi pointed at Su-Chen with one hand and shouted coldly. Immediately, the 5-colored giant sword rushed towards Su-Chen like a bolt of lightning. Everywhere it passed, the sharp sword intent wreaked havoc, shattering the void. At the same time, Su-Chen also slashed out with his saber. A torrent of alternating red and white shot out, and the 2 balls of mysterious flames jumped up along with it. In an instant, 2 different types of magical waves of ice and fire spread out. This caused everyone present to feel a sense of suffocation. What a terrifying ice and fire technique! Qi Mufeng and the others were aghast, and they all looked towards the field. Both Cold Sword 7 and Su-Chen had used their big moves. Who was stronger and who was weaker? After this move, the outcome would be revealed. In the next moment, the 2 collided fiercely and were in a stalemate. The 5-colored giant sword let out a wail and was sent flying. It turned back into 5 long swords and fell to the ground. How is this possible? Upon seeing this, 7th Sword Han cried out in alarm. What he saw was a torrent of ice and fire magic fused together, crushing him like a hot knife through butter. Boom! Accompanied by an earth-shattering explosion. With Han Jianqi as the center, a deep pit with a radius of hundreds of meters was blasted into the ground. Han Jianqi was blown into pieces, and not even his bones were left. Su-Chen narrowed his eyes and looked around, only to see tens of thousands of shining fragments in the pit. This meant that Han Jianqi had been completely obliterated. Seeing this, Su-Chen's tense nerves relaxed, and at the same time, a sense of weakness welled up in his heart. "Su-Chen, what about the Shi family's patriarch?" Qi Mufeng walked to Su-Chen's side and asked. Su-Chen took a breath, and a murderous look flashed across his eyes. He said in a low voice, "Kill." Chapter 870. Qi Mufeng pounced forward and killed the old ancestor of the Shi family on the spot in no time. Later, Su-Chen collected the fragments and called for everyone to get into the car and continued ahead to Fengyuan City. "He's so strong." Qi Muxue secretly glanced at Su-Chen, still in a daze. Even someone as strong as Su-Chen was killed by Su-Chen in one move. Who else in this world could stop Su-Chen? "Sister, don't provoke him in the future," Qi Muyu reminded carefully. "Provoke Su-Chen?" Qi Muxue clicked her tongue. Not to mention provoking Su-Chen, even looking at Su-Chen made her tremble in fear. Su-Chen sat in the driver's seat and rested for a while before he began to organize the fragments. An hour later, the fragments were organized. Su-Chen had a thoughtful expression on his face. Among the fragments he obtained this time, there was a 10,000 energy point item called 10,000 Swords Returned to One. From the name, it should be a swordsmanship. However, he didn't know what kind of power it had before he exchanged it for it. Su-Chen now had a total of close to 20,000 energy points, But he didn't plan to exchange it immediately. This was because he would soon head to the void. The void was too dangerous, and his current cultivation was still too weak. Therefore, he planned to save up the energy points to at least ensure that he could advance to the first stage of the sacred stage. When he reached the first stage of the sacred stage, he would have the ability to protect himself. Then, he began to close his eyes and rest. 2 hours later, the intelligent war chariot reminded him, "Master, we've arrived at Fengyuan City." Su Chen slowly opened his eyes and glanced outside. In his eyes was a majestic city. "Shao Sun, can you sense the existence of the immortal essence grass?" Su Chen asked the swift bird. "Master, I can't sense it for the time being," the swift bird replied. Su Chen didn't mind. Although the swift bird had the ability to sense treasures, it was only within a certain range. Fengyuan City was so big that it was reasonable for them to not be able to sense it for the time being. "Satoshi, activate the flight function and enter Fengyuan City," Su Chen instructed. In order to find the immortal elemental grass as soon as possible, he didn't just enter through the city gate. Yes. The intelligent war chariot received the order and began to fly. Soon, it flew to the sky above Fengyuan City. As he did not know the exact location of the Zheng family, Su Chen was not in a hurry to land the intelligent war chariot. After pondering for a while, Su Chen ordered, "Satoshi, search for the exact location of the strongest person in Fengyuan City." The Zheng clan was the #1 clan in Fengyuan City, so it was only natural for them to have the strongest person. As long as they could find the location of the strongest person, they would be able to lock onto the Zheng family. "Master, I found it. There's a saint-level powerhouse and several level 10 cultivators in a manor," the intelligent war chariot replied quickly. Su Chen nodded slightly and said in a low voice, "Enter the manor." The intelligent war chariot slowly descended. After entering the manor, a large number of powerhouses rushed over and surrounded the intelligent war chariot. Su Chen opened the door and walked out alone. Why did you break into our Zheng family?" A level 7 cultivator looked at Su Chen warily and asked loudly. "Call your patriarch over. I have something to discuss with him," Su Chen said calmly. "Is our patriarch someone you can meet just because you want to?" The level 7 cultivator said disdainfully. Su Chen curled his lips and released his spiritual power to bind the cultivator. He said coldly, "Hurry up and do as I say. Don't force me to make a move." The level 7 cultivator felt that all the bones in his body were about to shatter. After realizing that Su Chen was a top-level powerhouse, he shouted at the nearby guards, "Why aren't you going to call the patriarch over?" Chapter 871. Soon, one of the guards hurriedly left. Su Chen withdrew his spiritual force and did not take the life of the level 7 cultivator. "Thank you, Senior, for not killing me." The level 7 cultivator hurriedly expressed his gratitude to Su Chen. Su Chen's expression was cold and did not respond. Not long after the guard left, 3 men quickly flew over. Judging from their aura, they were level 10 cultivators. Su Chen was a little puzzled. There was clearly a saint-level existence here. Why didn't he come out? "Brat, you're F***king crazy. You dare to come to our Zheng clan and behave atrociously. Do you want to die?" Among the 3 people, a bald brawny man swept a glance at Su Chen and scolded. Hearing this, Su Chen's eyes turned cold. Just as he was about to make a move, he saw a man flying over and loudly said, "Senior, please calm down." Su Chen narrowed his eyes, and when he saw the appearance of the person, he chuckled and said, "Old Zheng, so it's you." The person who came was none other than Zheng Tao, whom he had saved before. "Senior, why didn't you inform us in advance that you would come? Our Zheng clan will definitely treat you with courtesy." Zheng Tao wiped off his cold sweat and said flatteringly. Seeing Zheng Tao so respectful to Su Chen, the bald man and the other 2 were a little confused. "Zheng Tao, are you stupid? Why do you have to bend your knees to him?" The bald man did not understand. The Zheng clan was the #1 clan in Fengyuan City, but they had to lower their heads to a young man. If this were to spread, where would the clan's face go? Zheng Tao was startled and hurriedly signaled the bald man with his eyes. What kind of person was Su Chen? He was the kind of person who would kill without saying a word. Even the Su clan's ancestor died in Su Chen's hands. The bald man dared to look down on Su Chen. If he did not do well, he would be killed in the next moment. An old man with a goatee beside the bald man sensed that something was wrong and asked in a low voice, "Zheng Tao, what's going on? Who is he?" Zheng Tao clenched his teeth. "He is Su Chen." After separating from Su Chen, he rushed all the way to Fengyuan City, but he had just returned. Therefore, Su Chen's matter was not reported in time. Su Chen? Which Su Chen? The goateed elder was slightly taken aback. He seemed to have thought of something and his expression changed drastically. "He's Su Chen." The bald man swallowed his saliva, his entire body trembling. Of course, they had heard of Su Chen's great name before. Especially in recent days, it had become extremely loud. It was rumored that even the saint-rank gold-devouring beetles had died at the hands of Su Chen. The bald man thought of his previous attitude towards Su Chen, and his heart sank to the bottom. It could be said that if Su Chen insisted on killing him, even their saint-level ancestor wouldn't be able to stop him. "Senior, what business do you have with us?" After knowing Su Chen's true identity, the goateed elder's attitude was very respectful. At the same time, he felt even more uneasy. It was rumored that wherever Su Chen went, he would set off a storm of blood. He would easily exterminate an entire clan. It was very bloody. He was very worried now. Did he offend Su Chen in any way? Su Chen ignored him. Instead, his gaze fell on the bald man. A mocking smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. "Weren't you very arrogant just now? Why are you scared now?" Hearing this, the can man's heart rose to his throat. He said in a trembling voice, "I wouldn't dare." Wouldn't dare? Su Chen didn't intend to let him off easily. There was a reason why he didn't let him go. The immortal essence grass was in the hands of the Zheng family. It was a little unreasonable to snatch it. It was a good opportunity to threaten them and ask for the immortal essence grass. Chapter 872. Senior, the Zheng family is willing to pay the price. Please forgive him. Zheng Tao was very clear that it was absolutely impossible to make Su Chen stop without paying some price. "Old Zheng, I'll give you face. The Zheng family only needs to give me one thing." Su Chen rubbed his nose and said calmly. Hearing this, Zheng Tao and the others all breathed a sigh of relief. They were willing to give up one thing for the Zheng family to be at peace. "Senior, what do you need?" Zheng Tao asked. "I heard that your Zheng clan has just obtained an immortal essence grass. Why don't you give it to me?" Su Chen said naturally. "Immortal essence grass?" Zheng Tao was stunned and looked at the man with the goatee. He had just returned to the Zheng family, so he did not know that the Zheng family had gotten an immortal essence grass. The man with the goatee looked troubled. He thought for a while and said, "Senior, can I change it to something else?" Su Chen's eyes turned cold. The purpose of this trip was to get the immortal essence grass. The immortal essence grass was related to the void ruins. How could he give it up? "Give me the immortal essence grass and I'll let it go. Otherwise, I'll kill the entire Zheng family." Su Chen snorted coldly, and a murderous aura spread out, suddenly pressing down on the Zheng family's people, making them breathless. Zheng Tao and the rest were shocked. They did not doubt Su Chen's words at all. With Su Chen's style, if they did not give him the immortal essence grass, they would be killed. The man with the goatee's forehead was covered in cold sweat. Just as he was thinking of a solution, a majestic voice drifted over. "Su Chen, don't go too far." As soon as he finished speaking, an old man with a head full of silver hair and an air of immortality flew over. He was the Zheng family's sage-level ancestor, Zheng Kun. "You're finally here," Su Chen whispered with a calm expression. Although Zheng Kun was a sage-level ancestor, an ordinary sage-level ancestor was no different from an ant in his eyes. "Su Chen, the immortal essence grass was purchased by our Zheng family at a high price. Could it be that you want to snatch it?" Zheng Chuanpu asked angrily as soon as he appeared. "Your Zheng clan has offended me, so you need to compensate me with something." The immortal essence grass that I want is not too much, right? Su Chen smiled foolishly. Previously, the bald man had been very disrespectful to him. It was a great taboo to treat an expert. It was reasonable for Su Chen to kill him. Zheng Kun was speechless. She glared at the bald man and turned to Su Chen, saying, I have to remind you that Heaven's Scattering Taoist needs the immortal primary grass. If you take it away, he will not let you go. Heaven's Scattering Taoist? Su Chen had never heard of this person and did not think much about it. He said coldly, just hand over the immortal elemental grass. You don't have to worry about anything else. Seeing that Su Chen was not intimidated, Zheng Kun took out the immortal elemental grass from the storage bag and threw it to Su Chen. Su Chen looked at the immortal elemental grass and saw that it was a little girl. At this time, her face was full of deep fear. Does the immortal elemental grass also have a gender? Su Chen murmured. Then he opened the planting space and told the male immortal elemental grass. Then he sent the female immortal elemental grass into it. Closing the planting space, Su Chen narrowed his eyes and looked at Zheng Kun. There was a faint cold light in his eyes. Being glanced at by Su Chen, Zheng Kun's scalp tingled. She said in a trembling voice, Su Chen, what do you mean? I've given you the thing. What else do you want? Chapter 873. Su Chen curled his lips slightly and said with a chuckle, I heard that the sage level of the human clan has tried every means to kill me? Zheng Kun's eyelids suddenly twitched. Su Chen was going to denounce him. Although the sage level of the human clan has tried to kill you, our Zheng family has never participated in it. I can swear to God. Zheng Kun hurriedly explained. Su Chen was a little surprised by this answer. If this was the case, he would not embarrass Zheng Kun. Seeing that Zheng Kun was not guilty at all, Su Chen nodded slightly, then looked at the bald man and shouted coldly, Slap yourself 100 times. The bald man was stunned. Didn't Su Chen say that he would let it go as long as he got the immortal element grass? Why did he still target him? Seeing that the bald man was a little stunned, Zheng Kun shouted, Why are you still standing there? He was very angry with the bald man. If he had not provoked Su Chen, the Zheng family would not have been in trouble. In fact, he did not know that even if this matter had not happened, Su Chen would have found other reasons. In short, Su Chen would not stop until he got the immortal element grass. The bald man came to his senses and raised his hand to slap his face. Slap, slap, slap. The slaps were very clear and he did not show any mercy. In the twinkling of an eye, his face was swollen. Su Chen nodded with satisfaction, then turned back to the intelligent chariot and left the Zheng family. When the intelligent chariot disappeared from sight, all the members of the Zheng family breathed a sigh of relief. Brother Qi, do you know Heaven's Scattering Taoist? On the way, Su Chen asked Qi Mufeng. Qi Mufeng suddenly became serious and asked tentatively, Su Chen, have you offended Heaven's Scattering Taoist? Something like that. Su Chen chuckled and told him what Zheng Kun had told him. Qi Mufeng took a breath and said in a low voice, Su Chen, you must be careful of this Heaven's Scattering Taoist. The Heaven's Scattering Taoist is a loner. He has been roaming in the hollow for thousands of years. No one knows his specific strength, and no one dares to provoke him. It seems that this Heaven's Scattering Taoist must be very powerful. Su Chen's expression froze slightly. The void was extremely dangerous, and there were many void beasts. The fact that Heaven's Loose Taoist was able to move unhindered for so many years showed that he was very powerful. Don't worry, I'll be careful, Su Chen replied. Then, he opened the planting space and took out the 2 immortal elemental grasses. Master, this is my sister Xiaoqing. I'm called Xiaolan. The male immortal essence grass first introduced to Su Chen. Brother and sister? There's even a name? Su Chen originally wanted to give them a name. That would save him a lot of trouble. Xiaoqing, are you willing to follow me? Su Chen looked at the female immortal essence grass and asked. Master, I'm willing, Xiaoqing replied immediately. Her brother was following Su Chen. Of course, she had to follow in her brother's footsteps. Moreover, she also found that the space she lived in was not only safe, but also full of spiritual chi. It was hard to find such a good place even with a lantern. Okay. Su Chen chuckled and said, Xiao Qing, sketch the map in your memory. Xiao Qing quickly sketched the map on the central control screen. Together with the map that Xiao Lan had previously, they formed a complete map. Su Chen glanced at it. Then, he turned to Qi Mufeng and said, Brother Qi, come over and take a look. Do you recognize this place? Qi Mufeng walked over and looked at it seriously for a long time. Then he said, This seems to be a huge meteorite cluster. Chapter 874. Meteorite Cluster? Su Chen thought for a moment and said, Is it a place formed by a large number of meteorites? Qi Mufeng nodded. Can you determine the specific location of this meteorite cluster? Su Chen probed. Qi Mufeng thought for a moment and replied, There are countless meteorite clusters in the void, but it is rare to see one as large as the one shown on the map, and I happen to know of one. Su Chen's eyes lit up, and he quietly waited for Qi Mufeng to continue. There is a large meteorite cluster near the Silent Sound Island in the void, but the Silent Sound Island is the territory of the void beasts, and there are countless high-level void beasts there. Moreover, there is a large amount of spatial turbulence near the meteorite cluster, and it is very dangerous to enter the meteorite cluster, Qi Mufeng said slowly. Hearing this, Su Chen pondered. The meteorite cluster was related to whether there was a void relic, so he must go there. But he was not in a hurry, because there were still many things waiting to be dealt with. When he entered the void, he was confident that he could advance to the first stage of the Saint stage. At that time, the danger would be greatly reduced. After a while, he sat in the driver's seat and began to rest. Unexpectedly, before he had time to rest, the longevity fruit tree's signal suddenly came from the planting space. Xiao Shou, what's the matter? Su Chen asked. Master, the primordial spirit-shaping fruit and the essence fruit have matured, the longevity fruit tree quickly replied. So fast? Su Chen was pleasantly surprised. He extended his mental power and saw that the primordial spirit-shaping fruit tree and the essence fruit tree were full of fruits, and they were emitting strong mental power fluctuations. The longevity fruit tree said, Master, it is all thanks to the spring of life, otherwise it would not have matured so quickly. That day, Su Chen gave it the spring of life, and it used all the spiritual liquid to irrigate the primordial spirit-shaping fruit tree, which was why it could grow so quickly. As for the essence fruit tree, it had been bearing fruit for a long time, and it could be said that it had matured now. Why is the primordial spirit-shaping fruit tree different from yours? Su Chen exclaimed softly. The longevity fruit tree and the essence fruit tree both had human faces, but the spirit-sculpting fruit tree still had the appearance of a spirit plant. This was very strange. Master, the primordial spirit-sculpting fruit tree takes a longer time to grow. After a certain period of time, it will become like us. The longevity fruit tree explained. Oh! Su Chen was enlightened. Then he plucked a primordial spirit-shaping fruit and all the essence fruits. With 10 primordial spirit-shaping fruits, he could split his second primordial spirit and nurture a puppet body. Later, Su Chen communicated with the longevity fruit tree and learned the method of splitting the primordial spirit. Then he closed the planting space. With the essence spirit-shaping fruit and the essence spirit fruit, splitting the second primordial spirit was a very simple matter, and there would not be any danger. But it would take a few days, and the environment would be quieter. Su Chen thought for a moment, then handed the primal chaos space to Wu Yazi for safekeeping and entered it. 7 days later, the intelligent war chariot successfully arrived at the Yunluo mountain range. After 7 days of seclusion, Su Chen had also successfully split his second primordial spirit. Since then, his strength had increased by a lot. Satoshi, search around and see if there is anyone in the Yunluo mountain range. The Tree of Life was obtained from a secret realm, and he did not know the exact location of this secret realm, so he wanted to find someone to inquire about it. Chapter 875. Master, we found a large number of cultivators in a valley. There are 3 level 10 cultivators among them, the intelligent war chariot replied immediately after searching for a while. Satoshi, head to the valley, Suchin said. There were so many people gathered in the valley. It was either a treasure or the location of the secret realm. Regardless of the situation, it was worth going over to take a look. The intelligent war chariot flew for half an hour. When it reached the edge of the valley, it landed. The main purpose of this trip was to gather information. There was no need to make a big fuss. Therefore, he put everyone and the intelligent war chariot into the chaos space. He only brought the swift bird with him. After entering the valley, Suchin asked around and found out that there really was an entrance to the secret realm here. However, there was a very strong defensive shield at the entrance of the secret realm. If one's cultivation was not high enough, it would be difficult to enter. Moreover, without knowing if there was any danger in the secret realm, no one dared to enter first. After figuring out the situation, Suchin came to the foot of a mountain. This was where the entrance to the secret realm was located. There were hundreds of people gathered there. Xiao Sun, can you sense the situation in the secret realm? Suchin asked softly. Master, I can sense a weak life aura escaping from inside, the swift bird replied. If there was life aura, it meant that there was a high possibility that there was a tree of life in the secret realm. Suchin nodded and said to the crowd in front of him, Please make way. Or you sure talk big. Do you think you'll make way just because you said so? A muscular middle-aged man said disdainfully when he saw that Suchin was young. Make way or die. Suchin's voice was as cold as ice. There was a cold glint in his eyes. As soon as he said that, there was a moment of silence. Everyone looked at Suchin. When they saw Suchin's appearance, there was a sudden commotion. Are the young people nowadays so arrogant? They want to kill people every time they open their mouths? It's understandable that young people haven't seen the world. How dare this guy threaten Lin Yao? I'm afraid he's going to suffer. Lin Yao is not only a level 8 evolutionary, but he also has a fiery temper. How dare this kid threaten Lin Yao? I don't think he will survive. Lin Yao's face gradually turned ferocious. He glared at Suchin and sneered, Boy, do you know who I am? How dare you speak to me in such a tone? Are you tired of living? You talk too much. Suchin snorted and released his mental strength. Lin Yao felt an invisible force pressing down on him. Before he could say anything, his head was crushed by the force. *CK. Seeing this scene, cries of surprise sounded from all around. Easily killing a level 8 evolver, Suchin's identity as a high-level spirit reader was clear. Those who had mocked Suchin were now trembling with fear. Is there anyone else who is not convinced? Suchin glanced at them and said coldly. After being glanced at by Suchin, everyone kept quiet out of fear. Even the 3 level 10 cultivators were tactful and did not say anything. A bunch of trash. Suchin snorted and walked straight to the entrance of the secret territory. Wherever he passed, the crowd would make way. They were afraid that if they could not dodge in time, they would anger Suchin and bring about a fatal disaster. The 3 level 10 cultivators closest to the entrance of the secret territory looked at each other and took the initiative to make way for Suchin. Suchin came to the entrance of the secret territory, glanced at it casually, and strode in. Chapter 876. As soon as he entered the secret realm, Suchin felt dizzy. Teleportation. Suchin raised his eyebrows. After experiencing teleportation a few times, he was very clear about the situation of teleportation. After a few seconds, the feeling of dizziness gradually disappeared. Suchin narrowed his eyes and looked around. He saw that he had appeared in a sparse forest. There was a layer of gray fog around him, and he could only see about 100 meters away. Xiao Sun, can you sense the location of life? Suchin looked away and asked in a low voice. Master, it's in that direction. Swift bird stretched out its claws and pointed forward. Suchin nodded and ran straight ahead. After running for about 3 miles, he came out of the small forest. Outside the small forest was a desolate plain. Not far away, There was a huge withered tree that was thousands of meters long. It faintly exuded a faint life aura. Tree of Life? Suchen looked at it carefully. Just as he was about to go over to take a look, Swift Bird suddenly reminded him, "Master, there are several strong people lying in ambush nearby. They give me a very dangerous feeling." To be able to give Swift Bird such a feeling, they must be at least level 10 and above. Suchen was not careless. He contacted the intelligent war chariot and asked, "Satoshi, search the vicinity." "Master, this is a special space. We cannot search." The intelligent war chariot immediately replied, "Special space?" Suchen thought of Meng Yi's dream creation space. In the dream creation space, the intelligent war chariot could not search. But whether it was a dream creation space or not, he could not be sure. Suchen stood in the same place and pondered for a moment. Then he put the swift alarm bird into the pet feeding space and shouted, "Come out, don't be sneaky. Since we've been discovered, let's go out and meet him." Suddenly, a cold voice came from behind the huge withered tree. Then, 5 men slowly walked out of the surgery. When he saw the faces of the 5 people, Suchen was slightly taken aback. Then, he chuckled and said, "It seems that you are planning to deal with me?" The 5 men who had appeared were from the God Clan, the Undying Clan, the Dharma Clan, the Holy Demon Clan, and the Night Demon Clan. The purpose of the 5 super clans gathering here was obvious. They wanted to kill him. "Suchen, this is where you will be buried. No matter how powerful you are, don't even think about escaping from here." The God Clan man laughed wildly. "You think you can kill me with just the 5 of you?" Suchen curled his lips as a disdainful smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. "Ha! You are indeed as arrogant as the rumors say." The Night Demon clansman laughed wildly. Then he snorted coldly and said, "This isn't the continent. Your strength won't be suppressed. Do you think you can escape from our hands? It's just a first-level saint rank. Even if there were twice as many of them, I would still be able to kill them all the same." Suchen said with contempt. He had already sensed the difference in this space. Here, he would not be suppressed by the power of the realm. But so what? He could even kill the Elven Holy Tree, a second-level saint rank. A first-level saint rank was nothing in his eyes. Moreover, he also had helpers. Chi Mufeng was a first-level saint rank powerhouse. The Golden Puppet was also a first-level saint rank. If they combined with another saint rank puppet, their cultivation could be raised to a second-level saint rank. Therefore, although the 5 first-level saint rank powerhouses were powerful, they were still not enough in Suchen's eyes. Chapter 877. Shameless Boasting. The undead man roared and called out to the other 4. "Let's attack together. Don't let this brat continue his arrogance. I'll teach him a lesson first." The Dharma man smiled sinisterly. He raised his hand and shot out a fireball that was about 10 feet wide at Suchen. The Dharma race's magic power was far superior to that of other races, and the fireball released by this saint-level Dharma was like an erupting volcano. It gave people an extremely strong feeling of shock. Seeing this, the 4 people from the undead clan stopped what they were doing and looked on coldly. It was rumored that Suchen was invincible among those of the same level and could easily kill those of a higher level. They all wanted to see how Suchen would block the saint-level fireball. Just as the giant fireball was about to reach him, Suchen directly used the Atlas shape-shifting technique. After his body rose to 10 feet, he released his mental energy and wrapped it around his hand. Then, he activated the golden scales arm and grabbed at the fireball. What was he trying to do? The 5 saint-level powerhouses were stunned. Grabbing a saint-level fireball with his bare hands? Did he want to die? Just as the 5 of them were confused, Suchen had already grabbed the fireball and squeezed it hard. There was a loud boom. The fireball exploded, setting off a huge wave of fire that surged in all directions. Everywhere it passed, it was scorched black. When the aftershock dissipated, they saw that Suchen was standing on the spot, unharmed. He flicked his finger lightly and flicked the ashes off. Gulp. Seeing this, the saint-level powerhouses of the 5 super races swallowed hard. Their eyes were filled with shock. The strength of Su Chen's fleshy body caused an extremely strong psychological impact on them. "I've already said that you're trash in my eyes, but you didn't believe me." Su Chen sneered. Then, he opened the chaos space and called out Qi Mufeng and the golden puppet. After all, the other party was a saint-level existence, and there were 5 of them. He did not have absolute confidence that he could kill all 5 of them, so he decisively asked Qi Mufeng and the golden puppet to help. "Su Chen, what is this place?" Qi Mufeng was surprised to find himself in an unfamiliar environment. This is an independent space where one's cultivation will not be suppressed. This is also a trap set up by those 5 fellows. Su Chen pointed at the people of the 5 super races and explained. Qi Mufeng's eyes turned cold as he looked at the 5 people. He said coldly, "Su Chen, I can deal with 2 of you." The other party actually wanted to murder Su Chen. With Su Chen's style, he naturally wouldn't let them off. This battle was unavoidable. And with his strength, dealing with 2 people of the same level was not a problem. "I can also deal with 2 people of the same level," the golden puppet promised solemnly. "Each of you can help me pin down one of them," Su Chen said calmly. If he wasn't worried that the other party would run away, he could kill them all by himself. At the same time, the God Race Man and the others turned serious when they saw Qi Mufeng and the golden puppet. Su Chen alone was strong enough. Now that there was another saint-level existence and a saint-level puppet, could they still kill Su Chen? The 5 of them began to waver. "Kill!" Su Chen did not give them time to think. He roared and charged at the God Race Man. Qi Mufeng and the golden puppet attacked at the same time. Qi Mufeng charged at the God Race Man, while the golden puppet charged at the undead race man. "Fight it out with him!" The God Race Man roared and released his mind power to crush Su Chen. "Trap him!" The God Race Man shouted and quickly gathered the violent thunder technique. The Night Demon Man stood in place and was responsible for protecting the 2 of them and preventing Su Chen from attacking. Chapter 878. When the God Clan Man's mind energy swept over, a strange smile appeared on Su Chen's face. A giant yellow sword appeared in his hand, and he slashed it in the air. Suddenly, a force of prohibition spread out. Although the power of prohibition could not completely cut off the connection between a sage and mind energy, it was still very effective in restraining it. The God Clan Man quickly realized that something was wrong. Not only did the mind energy he released weaken, but it also became more sluggish when he controlled it. At the same time, the God Clan Man's violent thunder technique that was about to be formed also slowed down. Su Chen took advantage of this opportunity to use his powerful body to tear apart the mind energy around him and charged toward the God Clan Man. "Don't even think about it." The Night Demon Man gritted his teeth and charged forward, throwing a punch at Su Chen. "Scram!" Su Chen roared. All of a sudden, the E-sword of prohibition in his hand disappeared and was replaced by a small mountain that was glowing with colorful light. There was a loud rumble. The combined 5 extremes mountain became 10 feet tall and collided heavily with the Night Demon Man. The Night Demon clan was known for their powerful bodies, and their strength was also much stronger than those of the same level. However, in front of the combined 5 extremes mountain's 108,000 pounds of strength, it was nothing. He was smashed into the ground, leaving only half of his head behind. After destroying the Night Demon Clan Man's obstruction, a purple light flashed under Su Chen's feet. It was as fast as lightning, but it caught the God Clan Man off guard and attacked. The God Clan Man was overjoyed because his violent thunder technique had almost been formed. As long as the God Clan Man blocked it for a moment, he would be able to deal a fatal blow to Su Chen. However, before he could rejoice for long, another Su Chen suddenly appeared in front of him. Moreover, this Su Chen held a giant yellow sword and pointed it at him from afar. The extremely uncomfortable power of prohibition once again enveloped him. Why is there another Su Chen? The God Clan Man was completely dumbfounded. Just as this thought appeared in his mind, he heard a piercing sound. He looked down and saw that his chest had been pierced through by the giant yellow sword. Immediately, an extreme sense of weakness surged in his heart, and his consciousness blurred. The scene of the man from the Dharma race being killed was seen by everyone, making them feel that it was extremely strange. Suddenly, two identical Su Chen appeared out of nowhere, and they were both abnormally powerful. Who would have thought that? Su Chen has such a trick up his sleeve? Qi Mufeng was extremely shocked. At the same time, the two Su Chens attacked the Night Demon Clan man and the God Clan man respectively. I can't keep fighting with him. The God Clan man's heart was filled with fear. He gritted his teeth and a soft white light appeared on his body. The God Clan man's body, God Clan man's was God Clan man's God Clan man its gods its. Instead of being shocked, Su Chen was overjoyed when he saw this. A small golden city appeared above his head. It emitted a dazzling golden light and had a strange suction force. Under the suction force, the thread formed by the power of faith was sucked into the small golden city like a whale sucking in water. It was devoured in the blink of an eye. How can this be? The God Clan man's heart was filled with extreme despair. He had spent countless years accumulating the power of faith, and it could be considered his strongest trump card. However, Su Chen had easily broken through it. Faced with Su Chen, who had endless tricks up his sleeve and was extremely powerful, was there any chance for him to survive? Chapter 879. Su Chen, spare my life. The God Clan man roared. He knew that he could not stop Su Chen by himself. If he wanted to live, he could only pray that Su Chen would show mercy. Su Chen snorted. The God Clan man was confused by the drunken life. Then he rushed forward and slashed down with his saber. After the enchanted saber was upgraded, it had reached the level of a sacred weapon. Even if it was not enhanced with magic power, it was still extremely sharp. The God Clan man's head flew into the sky. Then, Su Chen punched him and he died on the spot. After killing the God Clan man, Su Chen turned and attacked the Night Demon man. The two Su Chens joined forces and their lethality increased by several times. The Night Demon man was suddenly overwhelmed. Seeing that the Dharma Clan man and the God Clan man were killed by Su Chen in the blink of an eye, the Holy Demon man and the Undead man were terrified and tried to escape. However, Qi Mufeng and the Golden Puppet were stronger than them. They had been firmly suppressed and there was no way for them to escape. The Holy Demon man even revealed his true form, which was a giant white ape that was 30 meters tall. However, Qi Mufeng still pressed him to the ground. Countless wounds were cut open on his huge body. Blood flowed out continuously. It was a ghastly sight. With a shrill scream, the Night Demon man was blasted into smithereens by the two Su Chens. Then there was a whistling sound. The two Su Chens charged toward the Undead man. The Undead man was suppressed by the Golden Puppet and was killed without any resistance. At this moment, Su Chen put away his second primordial spirit and walked slowly toward the giant white ape. Qi Mufeng also stopped what he was doing. There was only the giant white ape left. No matter how powerful he was, he could not escape. When Su Chen got closer, the white ape unexpectedly fell to its knees and begged Su Chen for mercy. Su Chen, please spare my life. I'm willing to be your spiritual pet. Su Chen's eyes flickered, but he did not reply immediately. Instead, he pointed at the withered giant tree and asked, "Is this giant tree the tree of life?" The white ape replied immediately. "Where is its demon core?" Su Chen asked. The main purpose of this trip was the tree of life. Since the tree of life was already dead, obtaining its demon core was of utmost importance. We didn't touch its demon core. It should still be here, the white ape said honestly. Su Chen was delighted, but at the same time, a trace of doubt arose in his heart. The demon core of the tree of life was definitely a treasure among treasures. How could the giant white ape and the others not be tempted? Why didn't you take its demon core? Su Chen asked. It was Heaven's loose Taoist's order. He wanted to use the demon core of the tree of life to lure you here. The white ape did not dare to hide anything. Heaven's loose Taoist. Su Chen narrowed his eyes. He had heard from the Zheng clan's great ancestor that the immortal vitality grass was what Heaven's loose Taoist wanted. And he took the immortal vitality grass. Could it be that Heaven's loose Taoist wanted to take revenge on him? Thinking of this, Su Chen said coldly, "So, it was also Heaven's loose Taoist who arranged for you to appear here to kill me?" The white ape lowered its head and replied in a trembling voice. Su Chen thought for a moment and then asked, "Why did you listen to Heaven's loose Taoist?" Qi Mufeng once said that Heaven's loose Taoist was a loner who always acted alone and had no subordinates. "He forced us. If we didn't do as he said, we would be killed by him," the white ape explained. Chapter 880. Did he force you? Su Chen muttered to himself. The giant white ape and the other 4 were not only at level 1 of the saint level, but also came from the 5 superclans. They were much stronger than their peers. How could they be threatened by the heaven-distributed Taoist? What's his cultivation level? Su Chen asked in a low voice. "I don't know." The giant white ape shook its head. It seemed that it was afraid that Su Chen would not be satisfied with the answer, so it explained, "The heaven-distributed Taoist's strength is extraordinary. He can even make us surrender to him with his pressure." Was he so powerful? Su Chen clicked his tongue and turned to Qi Mufeng, saying, "Brother Qi, can a level 5 of the saint level do that?" "I'm afraid not." Qi Mufeng replied with a solemn expression. "So the heaven-distributed Taoist is at least at level 6 of the saint level." Su Chen took a deep breath. A level 6 of the saint level could definitely defeat him, which made him feel a lot of pressure. However, he quickly recovered. Without pressure, there would be no motivation. So what if the heaven-distributed Taoist was at level 6 of the saint level? He would reach level 6 of the saint level sooner or later. And with his many means, he could fight the heaven-distributed Taoist as long as he reached level 4 of the saint level. "Do you know why the heaven-distributed Taoist wants to deal with me?" Su Chen asked. He was not sure if it was because of the immortal original grass, so he wanted to figure it out. "He never tells us what he wants us to do." The giant white ape shook its head and said. Su Chen did not dwell on this matter. Instead, he asked, "Why doesn't the heaven-distributed Taoist do it himself?" It would be easy for the heaven-distributed Taoist to kill him, as he was at level 6 of the saint level. Then why did he want others to kill him? This was something that he was rather puzzled about. The giant white ape explained, "Because this space can only exert the strength of level 1 of the saint level at most. Once the strength is higher than level 1 of the saint level, it will collapse." Su Chen suddenly understood. After he understood what was going on, he squinted at the giant white ape and started to think. The giant white ape was a saint-level demonic beast. If he were to take it as a spirit pet, he would indeed be able to increase his powers. However, in his eyes, the giant white ape was just an ordinary creature with no potential. As his cultivation base continued to rise, he would definitely become useless. Thinking of this, he quietly opened the pet feeding space and communicated with the gold-devouring bug. "Little bug, if you devour a first-stage saint-stage demon beast, can you improve your cultivation?" "Master, it should be about time to advance to the false saint stage," the gold-devouring beetle said conservatively. Su Chen nodded slightly. He had already made up his mind. After the metal-devouring beetles reached the pseudo-saint level, their strength would be on par with the giant white ape. Killing the white ape would also yield a level 12 energy stone and a large number of fragments. It was much more cost-effective than keeping the giant white ape as a spirit pet. Su Chen's lips curled into a strange smile. He looked at the white ape and asked, "How do I leave this place?" Seeing Su Chen's smile, the giant white ape felt a little scared, but it still answered honestly, "Once this space is activated, it can only be maintained for an hour. After that, it will collapse and I will be teleported out." "Where will I be teleported to?" Su Chen asked. "To the place where I entered," the giant white ape answered honestly. "Then it will be the Yunluo Mountains," Su Chen said in a low voice. He had asked all the questions he needed, so there was no need to keep the giant white ape alive. Then he killed the giant white ape without hesitation. He dug out the energy stone and collected all the fragments. Then he went straight to the Tree of Life. Chapter 881. Su Chen rummaged through the huge body of the Tree of Life and finally found a demon core the size of a goose egg. It was still emitting a faint aura of life. "Little show, take a look. Is this the demon core of the Tree of Life?" Then, Su Chen opened the planting space and placed the demon core the size of a goose egg in front of the longevity fruit tree. "Master, this is the demon core of the Tree of Life." The longevity fruit tree was very excited. "I'll leave the demon core of the Tree of Life to you. Revive it as soon as possible," Su Chen instructed. With the help of the Spring of Life and a life crystal core, the Tree of Life should be able to revive soon. After reviving the Tree of Life, he could revive the 5 thunder fruit tree and other spiritual plants. It was of great significance. "Yes." The longevity fruit tree quickly nodded. After a while, Su Chen closed the planting space and cut the trunk of the Tree of Life into several pieces. He kept most of them. The remaining part was given to Qi Mufeng. Qi Mufeng had been going through fire and water with him recently. He had to give him some benefits. The trunk of the Tree of Life, even if it was withered, was still very useful. Qi Mufeng did not refuse. "Su Chen, you have an avatar?" After keeping the Tree of Life, Qi Mufeng asked. Previously, when 2 Su Chens appeared at the same time, he was extremely surprised. It also aroused his interest. "It's a second primordial spirit. It's similar to an avatar." Su Chen did not hide it. "A second primordial spirit," Qi Mufeng muttered and then asked, "What do we do next?" "Let's wait for a while," Su Chen replied. The giant white ape said that this space could only last for an hour. After that, it would collapse and be teleported out. If that was the case, it would be fine after a while. If not, it would not be too late to think of other ways. Later, Su Chen put Qi Mufeng and the golden puppet into the chaos space. Then he slowly waited. When the time was up, the space showed signs of collapsing. As for Su Chen, he was bathed in a beam of light and was quickly teleported out. After a bout of dizziness, Su Chen quickly recovered. When he saw that they were in the same valley as before, he heaved a sigh of relief. However, not only did the number of people in the valley not decrease, it had instead increased by several times. Furthermore, he could clearly feel a few gazes filled with ill intent sizing him up. Su Chen narrowed his eyes and looked around. He saw that they were the 3 level 10 cultivators from before, and there were a few people gathered around them. Judging from their auras, they had all reached level 10. "What's the matter?" Su Chen rubbed his nose and asked indifferently. A ferocious-looking old man pointed at Su Chen's nose and shouted angrily, "Kid, you killed Lin Yao, didn't you?" "I killed him. What are you going to do about it?" Su Chen pursed his lips, looking relaxed. The ferocious-looking old man glared at Su Chen and said through gritted teeth, "Lin Yao is a direct descendant of the Lin family. If you dare to kill him, you're going against the entire Lin family. I don't care if you're from the Lin family or the Lu family. Spit it out." Su Chen was getting impatient. The ferocious-looking old man took a deep breath and snorted. "Since you killed someone from the Lin family, you'll have to pay the price. Hand over everything you have, and I might spare your life. Are you going to rob me? Just you?" Su Chen looked at him with disdain. "Kid, what did you get from the secret realm? Hand it over and we'll let you go." A level 10 cultivator said loudly. "Since you want it, I'll give it to you." Su Chen's lips curled into a strange smile. Then, a faint golden light appeared on his hands, and he threw a punch. Chapter 882. Suddenly, the sky was filled with golden fist shadows that poured down like raindrops, enveloping all the level 10 cultivators. Bam, bam. Soon after, an earth-shattering collision sound resounded. By the time all the fist shadows had landed, the few leveled 10 cultivators had all turned into piles of minced meat. They could not be any more dead than that. Witnessing this scene, the entire valley fell into a suffocating silence. Everyone was trembling with fear, looking at Su Chen with eyes full of deep fear. A simple fist technique could kill several levels 10 cultivators. Su Chen's powerful strength was something they had never seen before in their lives, and it completely shocked them. Some of the more timid people's legs even trembled, and they could not even stand properly. Su Chen glanced around, and those who met his gaze all lowered their heads and kept quiet out of fear. A bunch of trash. Su Chen snorted softly and ignored them. Then he boarded the intelligent war chariot and flew away. Master, where are we going next? After leaving Yunluo Mountain, the intelligent war chariot asked. To the island with the other tribes, Su Chen replied. He had already made up his mind to accumulate enough fragments before entering the void. Therefore, the other tribes on the outer islands of the mysterious heavenly mainland had to be eliminated first. After that, he would enter other realms to hunt down the other tribes. Yes. The intelligent war chariot received the order and searched for an island called Sanluo, and headed there quickly. 2 days later, the intelligent war chariot flew to Sanluo Island. The other tribes on this island were the Rahu tribe. Their overall strength was not very strong, and the highest cultivation base was only level 7. Su Chen called everyone back and carried out a bloody massacre on Sanluo Island, killing all the Rahu tribe members on the island. After collecting a few thousand fragments, he left. After that, the intelligent war chariot continued to search for the other tribes on other islands to kill. Half a year later, Su Chen had slaughtered hundreds of islands and killed countless other tribes. In the end, it was difficult to find any traces of the other tribes. Actually, half a year wasn't enough to wipe out all the non-human races on the human continent. The reason he could not find the foreign races was because they had been scared out of their wits by the massacre. They had all returned through the domain passage and destroyed it to prevent Su Chen from hunting them down. Within half a year, Su Chen had obtained tens of thousands of fragments. After exchanging them for energy points, the total amount reached a shocking 70,000. However, Su Chen was not satisfied with this number. 1. Level 11 full attribute fragment already required 15,000 energy points. The subsequent, level 12 and level 13 fragments required even more energy points. Therefore, even though 70,000 energy points seemed like a lot, it was only enough to buy a few full attribute fragments. Moreover, there were many people around him, and a group of spiritual pets were also waiting to level up. Therefore, the collection of fragments was extremely urgent and they had to continue. On this day, Su Chen gathered everyone for a meal. After killing for half a year, it was time for everyone to relax. After everyone had eaten their fill, Su Chen announced the next step of the plan. It was to enter the other tribe's domain. Hearing this, Mo Rong and Wu Yazi were very excited. Because they had a huge grudge against the other tribes, they had long wanted to return for revenge. Master, when are we leaving? Mo Rong asked. Let's rest for 3 days first, Su Chen replied. He planned to use these 3 days to buy some constitution potions to increase everyone's strength. Especially Wu Yang and the others, they were too weak. If this dragged on, the gap would only widen. If they entered the void in the future, they could only hide in the chaos space. This was something Su Chen did not want to see. Chapter 883. Later on, everyone gathered together and played card games such as Do Diju and Level Up. Su Chen didn't participate because he wanted to buy things. Just as he opened the Doomsday Mall, Wu Yang came to Su Chen's side with a mysterious smile on his face. Captain Wu, what's the matter? Su Chen asked strangely. Recently, Wu Yang and the others have been staying in the chaos space and haven't seen each other for a long time. Is there something urgent? Wu Yang nodded and asked in a low voice. Su Chen, are you 19 years old now? Almost, Su Chen replied. He didn't have much concept of time. When he first came to Thousand Feather Island, he was only 17 years old. Now, he should be 19 years old. 19 years old is already an adult, Wu Yang murmured thoughtfully. Huh. Su Chen raised his eyebrows. He always felt that Wu Yang's words had a hidden meaning. Captain Wu, what's the matter? Su Chen rubbed his nose and chuckled. Wu Yang coughed lightly and said in a low voice, Su Chen, you've known Tan Lin and Yang Qian for a long time. Shouldn't you consider marriage? Lin Yu thought that he had established a relationship with Tan Lin and Yang Qian for some time. In the past 2 years, he had been running around and neglected them. Captain Wu, you want us to get married? Su Chen was slightly stunned. Although he knew that he would get married to Tan Lin and Yang Qian in the morning, it was still a little unexpected. Wu Yang nodded and said, now is the right time. When we enter the void in the future, there will be no time. Su Chen felt that it made sense and said, marriage is fine, but shouldn't we prepare? In the doomsday, marriage can be simple. But after all, it is the most important thing in life, and he can't be too careless. Don't worry, you just need to be the groom, I will take care of the rest. Wu Yang promised with joy. Then I'll have to trouble Captain Wu. Su Chen said gratefully. We're all family, there's no need to be so polite. Wu Yang waved his hand and announced the news. Su Chen was going to get married. This was a big deal. Everyone stopped playing cards and went forward to congratulate him. Furthermore, they all gave out gifts. Although the gifts weren't expensive, they were still a token of their sincerity. Su Chen thanked them one by one. Behind them, Wu Yang led everyone to get busy. After working for half a day, everything was ready. The wedding had just begun. 2 hours later, Su Chen, Tan Lin, and Yang Qian entered the bridal chamber. The bridal chamber was arranged in the Intelligent War Chariot. With the Level 8 Intelligent War Chariot, it could open up to 100 rooms, and each room had its own unique style. More importantly, the soundproofing effect was very good. As soon as they entered the bridal chamber, they were affectionate for a while before a hearty battle ensued. This battle caused the sky to darken and the earth to dim. Although Su Chen was a dragon fighting against 2 phoenixes, he relied on his strong physique to persist in the battle for 3 days and 3 nights. Because what happened during this period is indescribable, 100 million words will be omitted here. 3 days later, according to the original plan, the Intelligent War Chariot activated the shuttle function and entered the foreign world. Their first target was the Green Turtle race. Last time, under the instigation of the 5 major races, the Green Turtle race joined forces with other foreign races and almost slaughtered all the humans on Thousand Feather Island. With Su Chen's style of doing things, he naturally wanted to take revenge. The Green Tortoise tribe had become his first target of extermination. Elimination was not a simple slaughter, but the complete destruction of the Green Turtle race. Chapter 884. After entering the Green Tortoise tribe's continent, Su Chen immediately ordered the Intelligent War Chariot to search for the Green Tortoise tribe. The Green Tortoise tribe's population was only a few million. After a few massacres, their numbers had been greatly reduced. The Intelligent War Chariot searched for a while before finding a Green Tortoise tribe city. There were only a few tens of thousands of people there. Then, the Intelligent War Chariot sped over. After arriving at the city, Su Chen summoned everyone, including his spiritual pets, and gave the order to massacre the entire city. A group of experts swarmed forward, causing a storm of blood in the city. The highest level of the Green Tortoise tribe was only level 3. In the eyes of Su Chen and the others, they were even less than ants. In less than half an hour, the tens of thousands of Green Tortoise tribe members in the city were all killed. After collecting the fragments, Su Chen headed to the next target. In the next few days, the Intelligent War Chariot carried everyone from south to north, from west to east, turning the Green Tortoise tribe's continent into a sea of blood. It was like purgatory. During this time, Su Chen collected tens of thousands of fragments. After sorting them out and exchanging them, the total number of energy points exceeded 100,000, reaching a new milestone. Su Chen knew that if this continued, the people would inevitably get tired of it. For this, he exchanged for a lot of constitution potions as a reward to boost their morale. The greatest goal of a cultivator was to increase their cultivation. After obtaining the constitution potions to level up, everyone was extremely excited. Although they did not know where Su Chen got the constitution potions, they vaguely felt that it had something to do with killing the other tribes. Su Chen, the Green Tortoise tribe is almost extinct. Do you still want to continue killing? Wu Yazi asked as they were heading to the next location. In his opinion, killing the Green Tortoise tribe members was not a big deal. However, exterminating the green tortoise tribe was not a good idea. After all, there had to be a reason why a tribe could survive until now without being exterminated. Suchen could not care less. It was the green tortoise tribe who killed the humans first. Even if the green tortoise tribe was uprooted, they only had themselves to blame. Kill all the green tortoise tribe members in the valley. Let's go to another realm. Suchen thought for a moment and replied. Tens of thousands of green tortoise tribesmen were gathered in a huge valley ahead of them. It was very likely that this was the last stronghold of the green tortoise tribesmen. After the green tortoise tribe was eradicated, there were not many Green Valley tribesmen left. It was no different from being exterminated. Wu Yazi couldn't help but click his tongue. Suchen was determined to slaughter the myriad races. Those races that offended Suchen might really be exterminated. When they arrived at the valley, the swift bird warned, "Master, I feel that there's some danger in the valley. There should be a super strong existence inside." Danger? Suchen raised his eyebrows. Would he encounter any danger on the Green Turtle continent? Could it be that the experts of the other races had come to help? Thinking of this, Suchen got the intelligent war chariot to observe the situation in the valley. "Master, the strongest in the valley is only level 3, the intelligent war chariot immediately replied. Only level 3? Not only did Suchen not feel relieved, but he also frowned. The swift bird senses were definitely not wrong. This meant that the experts in the valley had the ability to hide from the intelligent war chariot's detection. However, no matter what kind of expert it was, he was not afraid in the slightest on the continent. "Satoshi, enter the valley." Suchen ordered. Yes. The intelligent war chariot accelerated and rushed into the valley. The valley was very vast. Tens of thousands of green tortoise tribesmen were gathered together. In front of them stood 4 huge stone statues. Each stone statue was very lifelike. They were the faces of the green tortoise tribesmen. Chapter 885. Why aren't these guys running away? Qi Mufeng asked curiously. In the past few days, they had been wantonly slaughtering the green tortoise tribe. They had become demons in the eyes of the green tortoise tribe. In the past, no matter how many green tortoise tribe members they encountered, they would always flee. This was the first time he had encountered such a situation where not only did they not run, they even put up a desperate fight. There must be a reason for this abnormality. This situation caused him to be on guard. Suchen was not in a hurry to give the order to kill. Instead, his gaze fell on the 4 stone statues. After a glance, he asked Swift Bird, "Shao Sun, did your danger signal come from these 4 stone statues?" Swift Bird nodded and said, "Master, I feel that they are all alive. They don't seem to be dead." Hearing this, everyone in the carriage was stunned. The 4 stone statues were all alive. This was something that even puppets did not have. Suchen pondered for a moment, then got out of the carriage and headed straight for the 4 stone statues. When the green tortoise tribe members saw Suchen walking over, they all retreated in fear. Suchen's main target was the 4 stone statues. He did not pay attention to the green tortoise tribe members. When he was 50 meters away from the stone statues, he stopped and said loudly, "Stop sneaking around. Come out." "Human, are you really going to kill us all and not let the green tortoise tribe live?" Suddenly, an old voice drifted through the valley. The one who spoke was one of the 4 stone statues. Stone statues can speak? Wu Yazi and the others were stunned. Suchen narrowed his eyes and glanced at the stone statue that spoke. He chuckled and said, "It was you green tortoise tribe members who slaughtered us humans first. Why can't I eradicate you?" "Human, killing is nothing. Although we green tortoise tribe are in the wrong, we have also paid a heavy price. I hope you will stop now." The other stone sculpture also spoke at this moment. Suchen curled his lips and said disdainfully, "You think I'll stop just because you say so? What else do you want?" The 3rd stone statue roared angrily. "I will wipe out the green turtle tribe from this world." Suchen's body was surrounded by a strong murderous aura as he replied coldly. He had already sensed that these 4 stone statues were probably the ancestors of the green turtle tribe. It was very likely that his cultivation had reached the saint level. But so what? He had killed quite a number of saint-level existences recently. You're going too far. The 3rd stone sculpture flew into a rage and roared at Su Chen. Su Chen's expression was calm as he mocked. You're just an old tortoise. Do you think you're qualified to be a human? So what if I bully you? The 3rd stone sculpture was about to explode from anger. He roared at the 1st stone sculpture, Boss, let's fight it out with him. Shut up. The 1st stone statue scolded, then turned to Su Chen and said, Human, we can give you something as compensation. I can give you something, but I'm not interested in ordinary things. He snorted coldly. The 1st stone puppet asked anxiously, What do you want? Su Chen narrowed his eyes and said calmly, 100 level, 10 energy stones, 100 mechanical hearts, or something of equivalent value. I will consider it. Whether it was level 10 energy stones or mechanical hearts, they were all very precious. Not to mention 100, it would be good enough if he could take out one. Su Chen's exorbitant demand showed that he had no intention of negotiating with the green tortoise tribe. He was completely toying with them. Chapter 886. 100 mechanical hearts. The 1st stone statue gnashed its teeth and muttered. Suddenly, a violent murderous aura emanated from its body. Crack, crack, crack. With a series of cracking sounds, the huge body of the stone statue shattered into pieces. Large pieces of stone fell to the ground, revealing a giant green tortoise that was more than 10 feet tall. At the same time, the other 3 stone statues also shook off the stones on their bodies and revealed their true forms. The 4 green tortoises all exuded a terrifying aura. Clearly, they were all sage-level existences. Su Chen narrowed his eyes and glanced at it. He raised his eyebrows and muttered, Ninja turtle? The 4 green tortoises in front of him had a strip of cloth tied around their heads. The eldest held 2 swords, the 2nd a samurai staff, the 3rd a dagger, and the 4th a nunchaku. It was exactly the same as the cartoon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that he had seen in his previous life. Su Chen clicked his tongue and said indifferently, Are you guys going to fight me? The 4 sage-level existences were definitely a force to be reckoned with, but they were still nothing in front of him. The green tortoise with 2 swords replied coldly, Human, leave now. We won't lower ourselves to your level. Won't lower themselves to my level? Su Chen sneered and said sarcastically, Killing the 4 of you is as easy as blowing off dust for me. Boss, he's too arrogant. Let's do it. The green tortoise with the samurai staff could not take it anymore. Then don't just stand there. Let's do it. Su Chen provoked. The green tortoise with 2 swords gritted his teeth and roared. Originally, he did not want to fight Su Chen. After all, they had heard of Su Chen's strength. Furthermore, the reason why they had turned into stone statues was to prolong their lives. Once they fought, their life force would be depleted quickly. However, Su Chen was too arrogant and had always been overbearing. Even if they did not fight, Su Chen would not let them go. Immediately, the 4 green tortoise tribesmen attacked Su Chen. Su Chen stretched out his hand and shook it. Suddenly, a golden light shone from his wrist. Then, the gold-devouring beetle, the diamond willow, and the flaming phoenix, 3 level 10 soul pets, flew out. Under Su Chen's instructions, each of them charged towards a green tortoise. At this moment, Qi Mufeng and the others arrived. Without needing Su Chen's orders, they surrounded the 4 green tortoise tribesmen. Seeing so many powerful beings appear, the 4 green turtle tribesmen were completely dumbfounded. At first, they thought that the 4 of them would be able to suppress Su Chen. Who would have thought that Su Chen would have so many helpers, and each of them was outstanding? In the blink of an eye, they were completely suppressed. Leave the one with the stick to me. Su Chen sneered and charged towards the green tortoise warrior. Previously, this fellow was the one who was the most arrogant. Su Chen planned to teach him a lesson. Boom! With a loud bang, The green tortoise warrior was smashed to the ground by the integrated 5 extremes mountain. A deep hole appeared in the ground. Seeing this, the dual-wielding green tortoise felt a chill in his heart. Su Chen's strength was far greater than he had imagined. With so many powerful beings, they had no chance of winning this battle. Stop. I'm willing to give you 50 mechanical hearts as compensation. Seeing that the green tortoise warrior was about to be killed by Su Chen, the dual-wielding green tortoise roared in desperation. All of you stop. Su Chen yelled. 50 mechanical hearts were extraordinary. It was enough to exchange for the lives of the 4 green tortoise tribesmen. Of course, if the other party did not have any and was just stalling for time, he would torture them to death. Chapter 887. Qi Mufeng and the others stopped and stared at the 4 green tortoise tribesmen to prevent them from escaping. Give it to me. Su Chen looked at the green tortoise tribesman and asked for the mechanical heart. Here you go. The dual-bladed green tortoise race being was quite straightforward. He tossed a storage bag to Su Chen. Su Chen released his spiritual force to wrap it up and then extended it in to check. When he saw that there were really 50 mechanical hearts in the storage bag, his expression changed. At first, he thought that the green tortoise tribesman was up to something. He didn't expect that there really were mechanical hearts. However, Su Chen didn't know much about mechanical hearts, so he couldn't be sure if they were real or fake. Therefore, he called the intelligent war chariot over and asked it to confirm. Master, these aren't mechanical hearts. They're fake. The intelligent war chariot observed for a while and immediately gave an answer. Su Chen's face suddenly turned cold. He turned around and looked at the green tortoise tribesman. He saw that the green tortoise tribesman had a strange smile on his face, as if his scheme had succeeded. Su Chen immediately realized that something was wrong. Just as he was about to throw the storage bag away, the storage pouch exploded with a bang. Then, thousands of red threads shot out from it and entangled with each other, forming a huge red light shield that covered Su Chen and the others. The 4 green tortoise tribesmen suddenly disappeared the moment the red light shield appeared. Su Chen, we seem to be in a teleportation array, and it's already activated. Wu Yazi reminded him. Teleportation array? Su Chen's expression turned serious. He opened the chaos space and took everyone and the intelligent war chariot into it. He didn't dare to be careless when he didn't know where he would be teleported to. If he was teleported into the void and fell into the void turbulence, it would be troublesome. As soon as Wu Yazi and the others entered the chaos space, Su Chen felt his vision blur. At the same time, the world also began to spin. In the blink of an eye, they were teleported away. A few seconds later, Su Chen appeared in a small, dilapidated village. There were people moving around in all directions. Zombies. Su Chen opened his mouth slightly when he saw that the moving figures were all zombies. Speaking of which, he hadn't seen a zombie for a long time. Suddenly seeing so many zombies, there was an inexplicable sense of intimacy. Su Chen's appearance quickly attracted the zombies' attention. There's a human, kill him. No one knew who shouted, but all the zombies in the village rushed toward Su Chen. So many intelligent zombies? Su Chen was slightly stunned. Judging from their aura, these zombies were very weak. The strongest one was only level 2. However, they knew how to communicate and speak. These were all characteristics of intelligence. He was somewhat surprised to see so many intelligent zombies appear all of a sudden. Just as a large number of zombies rushed in front of him, Su Chen raised his hand and punched out. The violent wind from his fist swept over. Not only did it kill the zombies, but it also destroyed the small village behind them. The only surviving level 2 zombie was completely dumbfounded when he saw this scene. He stood rooted to the ground, dumbstruck. Su Chen spared his life mainly because he wanted to find out some information. Then, he released his spiritual power and pulled the level 2 zombie in front of him. Tell me, where is this place? Su Chen stared at the level 2 zombie and asked coldly. Senior, this is the zombie nation. The level 2 zombie swallowed his saliva and said with a trembling voice. Chapter 888. Zombie Nation? Su Chen pondered for a moment before asking, "You mean this is the territory of the zombies? There are no other races?" "Yes, this place is full of zombies," the level 2 zombie nodded and replied. Hearing this, Su Chen's mind started to turn. He then asked calmly, "How big is the zombie nation? How many zombies are there?" If there were many zombies here, he could consider staying here to slaughter them and collect a batch of fragments. The zombie nation is boundless, and there are hundreds of millions of our people, the level 2 zombie replied truthfully. "You're not lying to me?" Su Chen asked coldly. "A boundless area? Tens of thousands of zombies?" No matter which one it was enough to shock him. He even thought that the level 2 zombie was not telling the truth. "Senior, I'm telling the truth." The level 2 zombie nodded furiously. After seeing Su Chen kill hundreds of zombies with one punch, he was already scared out of his wits. He did not dare to hide anything. Su Chen's eyes flashed. He then asked, "Why are there so many of you?" 100 million zombies was too terrifying. Even on the mysterious heavenly continent, there were only a few 100 million humans. "Senior, we can also reproduce," the level 2 zombie said bluntly. "Reproduce?" Su Chen was stunned. He whispered, "Be more specific. How do you reproduce?" The level 2 zombie replied and explained, "Although we are zombies, we are different from the zombies in the outside world. We can get married and have children just like you humans." Zombies could get married and have children? Su Chen was completely stunned. According to the level 2 zombie, the zombies here were of a different race. They were indeed different from the zombies he had seen before. Su Chen took a deep breath and killed the level 2 zombie without warning. No matter what race the zombies here belonged to, he only knew that killing them would result in fragments. After a while, he collected the fragments and called the intelligent vehicle, Wu Yazi, and the others out of the chaos space. "Su Chen, where is this place?" Wu Yazi asked as he scanned his surroundings and discovered that he had arrived at an unfamiliar place. "Zombie Nation," Su Chen replied. Hearing this, everyone was confused. It was the first time they had heard of the Zombie Nation. Su Chen then told him what he had learned from the level 2 zombie. When they heard that zombies could also reproduce, everyone's eyes widened in shock and bewilderment. "We can't be sure whether it's true or not," Su Chen said lightly, and then said to the intelligent chariot, "Satoshi, search around and see if there are any zombies." "Master, there are a lot of zombies around, but they haven't gathered together." The intelligent war chariot searched for a while and quickly replied. Su Chen nodded and gestured for everyone to get into the car. Then he ordered, "Satoshi, let's go and hunt the zombies. We'll start with the nearest ones." "Yes." The intelligent war chariot was ignited and started moving in a certain direction. In the next 10 days, the intelligent war chariot ran around and kept looking for zombies. During this period, they killed more than 100,000 zombies. Su Chen took the opportunity to collect a large number of fragments, and the total number of energy points exceeded 100,000. Moreover, he also obtained a very important piece of news. There were actually saint-level zombies here, and there was more than one of them. The strongest among them had reached stage 2 saint level. Chapter 889. Su Chen pondered for a moment and asked Qi Mufeng, "Brother Qi, can you exert the strength of a sage here? This place is very special. I can't feel any suppression from the power of the realm. It's not a problem for me to exert the strength of a sage," Qi Mufeng said truthfully. Qi Mufeng was not suppressed, which meant that zombies could also exert the strength of a sage. However, Su Chen did not care. He was not strong enough to be a stage 2 sage. Moreover, he still had more than 100,000 energy points. It should not be a problem for him to advance to stage 2 sage. He was invincible in the same level and could kill enemies of a higher level. No one could stop him in the zombie nation. He was still an existence that could do whatever he wanted. "Satoshi, find the next target." Su Chen gave the order and opened the Doomsday Mall. Since this place was not suppressed by the power of the realm, He planned to raise his cultivation level in advance. When he entered the void in the future, his safety would be better guaranteed. The level 11 all attributes fragment cost 15,000 energy points. Su Chen did not hesitate and directly exchanged for one. The exchange was successful. He officially became a false sage. Then he looked at the level 12 all attributes fragment. When he saw that it required 20,000 energy points, he hesitated for a moment and exchanged for it. Stage 1 Sage. Su Chen clenched his hands, unable to hide his excitement. After advancing 2 levels in a row, he did not plan to continue exchanging. If one's cultivation level advanced too quickly without a period of buffering and settling, it would easily cause damage to one's body. It would be counterproductive. After exchanging for the all attributes fragment, he turned to study the items that cost 10,000 energy points. So far, there were still the 5 elements Thunder Purgatory Formation, Disillusionment Blaze Feather Divine Dragon, and 10,000 swords in one that had not been exchanged. Su Chen looked at these 3 items back and forth several times. In the end, he spent 10,000 energy points to exchange for 10,000 swords in one. 10,000 swords in one sounded like a swordsmanship from the name. He had experienced the power of swordsmanship firsthand. Regardless of whether it was the man and sword as one or the 10,000 lightning sword transformation technique, their destructive power was immense. Su Chen had long been drooling over swordsmanship, so he chose to exchange 10,000 swords in one. The moment the exchange was successful, the feedback came. After Su Chen finished reading, he was stunned. 10,000 swords in one was indeed a swordsmanship, but it was much more complicated and profound than he had imagined. Specifically, 10,000 swords in one could be divided into 3 stages. In the first stage, 100 swords return to 1, controlling 100 saint swords to attack. In the second stage, 1,000 swords return to 1, controlling 1,000 saint swords to attack. In the second stage, 10,000 swords become 1. He controlled 5,000 saint swords, 2,500 magic swords, and 2,500 spirit swords to attack. It could be said that the difficulty of cultivating 10,000 swords as one was hellish. For example, the first stage required 100 sacred swords. Sacred swords referred to sacred artifacts, not ordinary weapons. How many people in the world could possess 100 saint artifacts? Moreover, it had to be a sword saint weapon. It was difficult to gather 100 saint swords, let alone the 5,000 saint swords in the third stage. Moreover, one also needed to have spirit swords and magic swords. This meant that if one wanted to cultivate to the third stage, they had to be a full-time cultivator. Su Chen even thought that if there was anyone in the world who could cultivate to the third stage of 10,000 swords in one, it would probably be him. However, he also knew that the possibility of success was very slim. After all, 5,000 saint swords was enough to destroy any fantasy. Chapter 890. Su Chen pondered for a while and finally decided to cultivate 100 swords into one. It was indeed very difficult to gather 100 saint swords, but it was not an impossible task. Currently, he already had 7. In addition to his own Primal Chaos Skysplitter Sword and Forbidden Sword, he also had Han Jianqi's 5 Holy Swords. In this way, he still needed 93 Holy Swords. Su Chen pondered. He could take some from the mutated tribe, buy them at the auction, or let Wu Yazi forge a batch, and exchange the rest through the Doomsday Mall. There should be a chance to gather them. Of course, Lin Yu also knew that this was a long way to go, and he could not rush it. After a while, he closed the Doomsday Mall and began to rest. 3 hours later, the intelligent war chariot appeared in front of a huge city and stopped. At this time, Swift Bird also reminded, "Master, there are many powerful existences in this city. They should be holy level powerhouses." Su Chen slowly opened his eyes and ordered, "Satoshi, how many holy level powerhouses are in the city?" He was sure that there were holy level powerhouses in the zombie nation. Therefore, he was not surprised to meet holy level powerhouses here. "Master, there are 4 holy level 1 zombies and 1 holy level 2 zombie." The intelligent war chariot immediately replied. 5 holy level powerhouses? Suchin raised his eyebrows. According to the information he received, there were no more than 10 holy level zombies in the zombie nation. However, there were 5 holy level powerhouses in this city, and the strongest one was holy level 2. This meant that this city was very likely to be the zombie nation's royal city. Master, the 5 holy level zombies and a large number of powerhouses are coming out of the city. The intelligent war chariot reminded. Suchin nodded slightly and said calmly, "Let's go down and meet them." With that, he opened the door and walked out. Qi Mufeng and the others did not hesitate and followed closely behind. As soon as Suchin got out of the car, the zombies had already rushed in front of him and stared at him covetously. "Humans, why are you slaughtering our people?" A short level, 1 saint level zombie questioned Suchin angrily. "Why can't I?" Suchin curled his lips and said casually. Humans and zombies were like fire and water. It was normal for them to kill each other. "So you did it on purpose?" The tall zombie's face was gloomy, and he glared at Suchin, looking very angry. "You can say that." Suchin nodded and admitted it generously. The main purpose of killing the zombies here was to get the fragments. Regardless of whether they provoked him or not, he had to take action. "You're going too far." The short zombie at the first level of the saint rank suddenly flew into a rage, roaring and rushing towards Suchin. The rest of the zombies stood still and didn't stop him. Without knowing Suchin's strength, they all wanted the short zombie to test him. "You overestimate yourself." Suchin smiled contemptuously and released his spirit power to sweep forward. At level 1 saint level, his spirit power was even more powerful than that of level 2 saint level. The short zombie was covered by his spirit power and immediately lost the ability to move. At the same time, his whole body twisted irregularly, and finally, he was pressed into a ball and exploded with a loud bang. Hiss! Seeing this scene, the sound of cold air being sucked in could be heard from all around. All the zombies' eyes were filled with deep fear. Even the tall zombie at level 2 saint level was trembling all over. As for Qi Mufeng and the others, their mouths were wide open. They were extremely shocked. Chapter 891. Who would have thought that a first-level saint-rank powerhouse could not even cause a ripple under Suchin's hands and was easily crushed? How strong was Suchin now? Suchin has reached first-stage saint level. Wu Yazi exclaimed when he felt the violent aura coming from Suchin. First-stage saint level? Shang Caili and the others were stunned for a moment. When they came back to their senses, they were excited. Qi Muxue and Qi Muyu looked at each other and could see the shock in each other's eyes. Suchin was not even 20 years old. A first-stage saint level less than 20 years old was unbelievable. "Human, what will it take for you to let us go?" Even if the tall zombie was extremely angry, he could only suppress this anger in the bottom of his heart and turn to a negotiating tone with Suchin. He knew that although Suchin was only a first-stage saint level, his strength was far beyond his peers. He was also a powerful spirit reader. Even if he went up against him, he would not be a match for him. Seeing that the other party had admitted defeat, Suchin was not in a hurry to make a move. He smiled faintly. "If you can give me a satisfactory reward, I can consider letting you go." "What do you want?" The tall zombie gritted his teeth and asked. It was a matter of life and death. Even if Suchin's request was a little excessive, he would find a way to satisfy it. "Energy stones above level 10, mechanical heart, or ores to forge a holy sword will do," Suchin said calmly. Of course, he only mentioned the name. As for the quantity, it could not be too little. It had to be satisfactory. Otherwise, it would be better to kill them all and get the fragments. "I can give you ores to forge a holy sword," the tall zombie said without hesitation. Suchin was a little surprised. He just mentioned it casually. He did not expect the other party to really have it. "How much do you have?" "Don't tell me if it's 1 or 2 pieces," Suchin said. The main reason he wanted the ores was to forge a sacred sword. However, The amount of ores required for the 93 sacred swords was massive. 1 or 2 ores were simply not enough. I have 500 kilograms. The tall zombie said in a deep voice. 500 kilograms? Su Chen was stunned. Wu Yazi and the others were also extremely shocked. The ores used to forge holy swords were all things that could only be found by chance. Having 1 or 2 pieces was already very impressive. 1,000 caddies was simply appalling. Su Chen took a deep breath and whispered, "Take it out and let me have a look. What you hear may be false, but seeing is believing. Was it really 500 kilograms? What was the quality of the ores?" He could only be sure if he saw it with his own eyes. The tall zombie quickly opened his storage bag and took out a huge piece of ore. There was still dazzling lightning on it. Great Kiliakosm Thunder Light Stone. When Wu Yazi saw this piece of ore, his eyes almost popped out. As a master blacksmith, he had come into contact with a lot of ores. With a single glance, he was able to tell that this ore was the Great Thousand Lightning Light Oregon, Senior. Can the Great Thousand Lightning Light ore be used to forge a sacred sword? Su Chen asked anxiously. With a few supplementary materials, it can be used to forge a sacred sword with the lightning attribute. Wu Yazi replied with certainty. How many can you forge? Su Chen was extremely excited and asked. Wu Yazi pondered for a moment and gave an answer. A conservative estimate should be 80. Su Chen's heart moved. 80 plus the 7 he had, he was very close to 100. This Great Thousand Lightning Light ore must be in his hands. Chapter 892. Su Chen released his spirit energy and swept toward the big Kiliakosm Thunder Light Stone. What are you doing? The tall zombie roared and grabbed the big Kiliakosm Thunder Light Stone. Su Chen hadn't promised to let them go yet. What if he took the stone and went back on his word? Seeing this, Su Chen snorted and controlled his spirit energy to crush the tall zombie. The tall zombie was frustrated. He didn't dare to be careless in the face of Su Chen's spirit energy. He took out a thunder sword and slashed. Suddenly, tens of thousands of lightning bolts shot out from the sword and crushed the spirit energy that was sweeping toward him. However, at this moment, a small 5-colored mountain came crashing down on him. The tall zombie wanted to dodge, but it was too late. He had no choice but to block it with his thunder sword. Boom! With a loud bang, the tall zombie was pressed to the ground with his sword. The remaining 3 first-level saint-level zombies saw that things were not going well, so they rushed towards Su Chen. You've overestimated yourselves. Su Chen glanced at them coldly and a black sword appeared in his hand. He swung the sword. Instantly, a terrifying torrent of lightning shot forward. 3 zombies at the first level of the saint level were turned into 3 piles of ashes and died on the spot. Seeing this, all the zombies were scared out of their wits and retreated. Qi Mufeng and the others were also shocked. Su Chen had just become a first-level saint-level, but he could easily crush a second-level saint-level zombie and kill 3 first-level saint-level zombies. His strength could only be described as horrifying. He's getting stronger and stronger. Qi Muxue swallowed hard. She remembered the scene when she fought with Su Chen on the elf land. She couldn't help but feel scared. Su Chen put away the fragments and the big Kiliakosm Thunder Light Stone in his storage bag. Then, he walked toward the tall zombie and snorted with contempt. Can't you behave? Why do you have to force me to fight? What do you want, human? The tall zombie was pressed to the ground. His face was red and he shouted at the top of his lungs. Of course I'm going to trade with you, Su Chen said calmly. Then, he retracted the combined 5 extremes mountain, allowing the tall zombie to regain his freedom. You won't kill me? After the tall zombie got up, his face was full of uncertainty. Why would I want to kill you? Su Chen asked. When the other party had taken out the major Kiliakosm Lightning Light Stone, he had already decided to spare the other party's life. However, there were too many zombies on the scene. If he didn't kill even one of them, he would undoubtedly lose a large number of fragments. He was somewhat unwilling to give up. Therefore, he took the opportunity to kill 3 first-stage Saint-rank zombies. The tall zombie was a little confused. He thought to himself, since you want to make a deal, why did you kill my people? Su-Chen did not give him a chance to ask, and asked, where did you get the Great Kiliacosm Lightning Light Stone? 500 kilograms of Greater Kiliacosm Lightning Light Stone was already not a small number. But if there were more, wouldn't he be able to get more? I got it from an island in the Black Swamp Sea. The tall zombie replied. He seemed to be worried that Su-Chen would continue to ask him for more, so he reminded him, I only have that Major Kiliacosm Lightning Light Stone on me. I don't have any more. Black Swamp Sea? Su-Chen pondered and then asked, are there any more Major Kiliacosm Lightning Light Stones on that island? The tall zombie nodded. How many? Su-Chen's eyes lit up and asked. As big as a hill. The tall zombie said directly. What? Su-Chen and the others were all shocked. A hill was at least tens of thousands of kilograms, right? This meant that there were at least tens of thousands of kilograms of Major Kiliacosm Lightning Light Stone. It was more than enough to refine 5,000 holy swords. Chapter 893. Is there really such a big Deqian lightning stone in the Black Swamp Sea region? Su-Chen took a deep breath and asked. If the tall zombie said there was a Deqian lightning stone that weighed a few thousand kilograms, he wouldn't doubt it. But it was as big as a small mountain. It's true. The tall zombie promised and then explained, but the Black Swamp Sea region is very dangerous. There are many fierce beasts inside, and the strongest one has reached the second stage of the Saint stage. It has also comprehended the lightning god art. Hearing this, Su-Chen wasn't shocked. Instead, he was happy. Fierce beasts were also a type of mutant beast. After killing them, they would also drop fragments. Which realm does your zombie kingdom belong to? Su-Chen suddenly asked. He was a bit suspicious. Was this a separate realm? This is also considered the human continent, the tall zombie said directly. Human continent? Su-Chen was dumbfounded. He had basically gone around the human continent once and never found such a place. Could it be a secret realm? But what kind of secret realm could have such a large area? Su-Chen was very confused and asked, where is this place on the human continent? It's the outer area of the island? The tall zombie replied. Su-Chen's heart skipped a beat. He suddenly remembered that when he got the mysterious heaven topography map, he found that outside the island in the outer sea was a pitch-black land. It should be where the zombie kingdom was located. After figuring out what was going on, Su-Chen ordered, take me to find the Deqian lightning stone. After finding it, I will leave here and won't make things difficult for you. No problem. The tall zombie's answer was very simple. No one noticed that when he finished this sentence, an imperceptible sneer appeared on the corner of his mouth. Behind them, everyone rode the intelligent chariot and headed straight for the Black Swamp Sea region. 5 days later, they smoothly entered the Black Swamp Sea region. Just as the tall zombie said, there were a large number of fierce beasts in the Black Swamp Sea region, and their levels weren't low. Su-Chen naturally wouldn't miss the opportunity to hunt. He chased them all the way until he reached the island. He had killed more than 50,000 dire beasts, including a level 9 dire beast. The super ancient devouring Vajra mosquito had successfully reached level 9 after devouring the blood of the level 9 dire beast. Master, there is a very dangerous existence on the island. When the intelligent war chariot landed on the island, the swift bird reminded him. There was a second stage saint-level beast on the island, so it was normal for it to be dangerous. Su-Chen didn't pay too much attention to it. He called the tall zombie and Chi Mufeng out of the car and then put the intelligent war chariot, Wu Yazi, and the others into the chaos space. You should know the location of the Major Kiliacosm Lightning Light Stone, right? Lead the way. Su-Chen glanced at the island, then asked the tall zombie. I know. The tall zombie replied and then walked in a certain direction. Along the way, Su-Chen asked, did you also get that Greater 1,000 Lightning Light Stone from here? The tall zombie didn't hide it. Didn't you say that the Greater 1,000 Lightning Light Stone was as big as a small mountain? Why did you only take so little? Su-Chen was a little puzzled. For something as good as the greater 1,000 lightning light stone, of course, the more the better. If it were him, he would have taken it all. The tall zombie explained, the dire beast guarding here is too strong. It's not easy for me to get a little greater 1,000 lightning light stone. Suchin nodded and didn't think much about it. After the three of them walked for half an hour, they saw lightning gathering in a valley. Surprisingly, it was emitted from an or that was as big as a mountain. Chapter 894. Achiliocosm Thunder Light Stone. Suchin saw it clearly. It was definitely Achiliocosm Thunder Light Stone. There really are so many of them. Suchin was so excited that he quickened his pace. When the three of them entered the valley, they saw a withered old man sitting cross-legged under the Achiliocosm Thunder Light Stone. He looked like a stone statue. A zombie! Suchin glanced at him and his eyelids twitched. Mutant beasts could take human form after reaching level 10. He thought the withered old man was a level 2 saint-level beast. However, he changed his mind when he sensed the aura of the old man. The withered old man didn't have the aura of a beast at all. Instead, he exuded a strong death aura. He was definitely a zombie. Suchin, something's not right. Chi Mufeng also noticed that something was wrong. The tall zombie had said clearly that this was the territory of a level 2 saint-level beast. Why did it become a zombie? Was there a conspiracy? Suchin's face turned cold. He turned to look at the tall zombie. The tall zombie had already walked up to the withered old man and said respectfully, "Ancestor, that human has committed crimes here. He has killed many of our people, including 4 level 1 saint-level beasts." Hearing this, the withered old man slowly opened his eyes. Then, a sharp gaze swept over Suchin and finally fell on Suchin. At the same time, an extremely majestic aura emanated from his body. Level 3 saint level. Chi Mufeng's face suddenly changed. At this moment, he clearly felt that the withered old man's aura had reached level 3 saint level. He couldn't help but feel uneasy. He definitely couldn't defeat a level 3 saint-level powerhouse. He could only rely on Suchin. Suchin could crush a level 2 saint-level, but could he still be as strong as before when facing a level 3 saint-level? Suchin's face froze for a moment, but he soon calmed down. Using Atlas shape-shifting, his cultivation could instantly reach level 2 saint-level. It wouldn't be a problem for him to deal with a level 3 saint-level. Human, how dare you commit crimes in our zombie country? Do you know your crime? The withered old man asked coldly with a gloomy face. Do I know my crime? Suchin smiled foolishly and said disdainfully, I, Suchin, have always acted without scruples. So what if I killed your people? What can you do to me? It was ridiculous that the withered old man thought he was a level 3 saint level. Ha, he looked. Join our zombie clan. Or you will. Or you will. Or you will die. Suchin sneered. Then, his face turned cold and he said coldly, No one who threatens me can live. You are no exception. After saying that, he directly used Atlas shape-shifting. When his body rose to 30 meters, he rushed toward the withered old man. Chi Mufeng saw Suchin take action and also rushed toward him. You are courting death. The withered old man flew into a rage. He pushed his hand forward and a thick lightning beam shot out. You want to play lightning with me? Suchin smiled contemptuously and then slashed out with his saber. A flash of lightning swept forward like a torrent. As soon as the two collided, a violent thunderous sound was heard. Then they were annihilated. Suchin didn't stop. A purple light flashed under his feet. He turned into a flash of light and continued to attack the withered old man. Chapter 895. He's so fast. The withered old man's eyelids twitched. After Suchin transformed, although he was a second-level saint rank, his speed was slightly faster than a third-level saint rank. Realizing that Suchin was a top expert, the withered old man gritted his teeth and reached for the big 1,000 Thunderlight Stone with one hand. Rumble. After an earth-shattering tremor, The big 1,000 thunderlight stone rose from the ground and floated above the withered old man's head. The big 1,000 thunderlight stone was a divine weapon. Seeing this, Su Chen was shocked. The withered old man controlled the big 1,000 thunderlight stone with ease. Obviously, it was a divine weapon. He was also an expert in mountains, but compared to the grand 1,000 thunderlight mountain, it was like comparing a peanut to an apple. The difference was too great. Go to hell. The withered old man sneered and controlled the big 1,000 thunderlight stone to smash down on Su Chen's head. Immediately, the sky above the valley was enveloped by it, and an enormous shadow appeared. Affected by it, Qi Mufeng and the tall zombie stopped fighting. When they saw this scene, they had different feelings. Qi Mufeng's face was very serious, and he was very worried. The tall zombie had a cruel smile on his face, and he looked at Su Chen as if he was looking at a dead man. I didn't expect this day to come. Su Chen smiled bitterly. He had always liked to smash others with the big 1,000 thunderlight stone. He didn't expect that one day, he would be smashed by a mountain. However, it was still too simple to think that they could crush him with just a thunder mountain. Just as the big 1,000 thunderlight stone was smashing down, Su Chen's palm glowed with a faint golden light, and then he ran the great strength technique and grabbed upward with one hand. Seeing this, the withered old man was stunned, but it was soon replaced by a touch of ruthlessness. In his view, Su Chen dared to take the big 1,000 thunderlight stone with his body, which was no different from an egg hitting a stone. He would definitely be smashed into meat paste. Bang! With a dull thud, the vast 1,000 thunderbolts mountains smashed heavily into Su Chen's palm. It felt as if a huge rock had smashed onto an ant. But what was inconceivable was that when the greater Kiliakosm lightning light mountain touched Su Chen's palm, it strangely stopped moving. It was as if he was being held up by a huge force. However, the great Kiliakosm lightning flash weighed hundreds of thousands of kilograms. What kind of power could stop it from falling? How is this possible? The withered old man's jaw almost dropped when he saw this scene. The tall zombie also opened its mouth wide, and its whole body began to tremble. Qi Mufeng, on the other hand, clenched his fists. He was equally shocked. It was obvious that Su Chen's action of holding the greater Kiliakosm lightning light mountain had completely overturned their understanding of power. It was hard to imagine that there was actually someone with such divine power in this world. Old thing, you want to use a mountain to crush me? You're too naive. Su Chen dragged the greater Kiliakosm lightning light mountain effortlessly. In his spare time, he even mocked the withered old man. The withered old man swallowed hard and roared through gritted teeth. So what if you have brute force? I can still kill you. As soon as he finished speaking, he pointed at the greater Kiliakosm lightning light mountain with one hand. Thousands of lightning bolts jumped and poured down on Su Chen like raindrops. Seeing this, Su Chen still did not panic. He released his mind power to set up a layer of defense outside his body, and then a golden armor appeared on his body. It was the mysterious heaven armor. Chapter 896. Bang bang. Accompanied by the sound of raindrops hitting banana leaves, all the lightning fell on Su Chen's body. Although the lightning penetrated Su Chen's mental strength, it was blocked by the mysterious heavenly armor. In addition, Su Chen had the ancient god-fiend body, which made his defense abnormally strong. Therefore, the storm-like attack was all bark and no bite. It was not enough to cause any harm to Su Chen. Old man, do you have any other means? Su Chen casually patted the ashes off his body and mocked him. You! The withered old man's mouth trembled and his heart pounded. He had used his strongest killing move, but he could not cause any harm to Su Chen. It made him feel that Su Chen was simply unkillable. It was accompanied by a loud rumbling sound. Su Chen threw the grand Kiliakosm thunderlight mountain to a nearby mountain, causing a huge landslide. Then, he slowly walked towards the withered old man. Let's talk nicely. Don't come over. The withered old man was scared and screamed. Every time Su Chen took a step forward, his heart trembled. As the distance between them continued to shrink, he even felt an aura of death. Su Chen pursed his lips slightly and said indifferently, "Give me a reason not to kill you." He had to kill the withered old man, but wouldn't it be better if he could squeeze something good out of him before that? "I can give you everything I have," the withered old man hurriedly replied. He knew very well that Su Chen's strength was not something he could fight against. If he wanted to live, he had to pay something and beg for Su Chen's forgiveness. Su Chen scoffed at this and sneered, "If I kill you, won't the things on you be mine? I also know a big secret that is enough to exchange for my life." The withered old man gritted his teeth and said softly, "A huge secret?" Su Chen was suddenly interested. "Tell me about it." "I can tell you, but you must discover the oath and not kill me," the withered old man said. This was his only chance to survive. Before Su Chen agreed, he would never say a word. "You know, what I hate the most is people trying to bargain with me." Su Chen sighed and suddenly attacked the withered old man without any warning. "You're going too far." The withered old man roared and threw a punch at Su Chen. Although he knew that he was no match for Su Chen, he would not sit still and wait for death. Unexpectedly, just as his fist was about to hit Su Chen, he suddenly felt his vision blur, and then he fell into a daze. "You overestimate yourself." After Su Chen used drunken life to throw the withered old man into a daze, he took out the Prime 5 Extremes mountain and smashed it at the old man's head. Previously, the old man had smashed him with the Great Kiliacosm Lightning Light Mountain. He wanted to let the old man have a taste of his own medicine. There was a loud bang. The withered old man was pressed to the ground without any resistance. When the tall zombie nearby saw this, it turned around and fled without hesitation. Qi Mufeng wanted to stop it, but it was too late. "You think you can escape?" Su Chen mocked. A white light suddenly shot out of his body and turned into another Su Chen in the blink of an eye. It chased after the tall zombie. "The two of them are exactly the same." The withered old man happened to see this, and his mind buzzed. After a while, a scream came from afar. Su Chen's second primordial spirit caught up to the tall zombie and killed it easily. After the second primordial spirit returned, it merged back into Su Chen's body. Chapter 897. Can you tell me what the secret is now? Su Chen stared at the withered elder and said coldly, "If you don't swear to spare my life, I won't tell you even if I die." The withered elder gritted his teeth. This was the only thing he could rely on to survive. How could he reveal it so easily? He wouldn't shed a tear until he saw the coffin. Su Chen didn't dare to be polite and use torture. For a moment, the entire valley was filled with mournful screams. Even a powerhouse like Qi Mufeng felt his scalp go numb. The screams lasted for half a day. Under Su Chen's various tortures, the withered elder finally couldn't take it anymore and revealed the secret. After killing the withered elder with a punch, Su Chen pondered for a moment and asked Qi Mufeng, "Brother Qi, is there a place called the Sky Altar Universe in the void?" Qi Mufeng's face suddenly changed and said, "The Sky Altar Universe is very famous in the void. It's one of the 3 forbidden areas in the void. Rumor has it that it's extremely dangerous. No one who enters can come out alive." "One of the 3 forbidden areas?" Su Chen's expression froze and his thoughts slowly turned. Just now, he heard from the withered elder that there was an extremely injured divine beast hidden in the Sky Altar Universe. It might even be dead. A divine beast was an existence that surpassed Saint Rank 10. Even if it was dead, its value was self-evident. This was the first time Su Chen heard of the existence of a divine beast. He couldn't help but be a little tempted. "Su Chen, the Sky Altar Universe is too dangerous. Don't go in recklessly," Qi Mufeng reminded. Su Chen was a fearless person. He was really worried that Su Chen would act recklessly. "Don't worry." Su Chen smiled. He couldn't be sure if this news was true or not. Even if it was true, he wouldn't take the risk. Of course, when his strength reached a certain level, he might go in and take a look. After a while, Su Chen opened the primal chaos space and called out Wu Yazi. "Senior, take a look at that greater 1,000 lightning light stone. How many saint swords can it forge?" Su Chen pointed at the greater Kiliacosm lightning light mountain and said. Wu Yazi looked in the direction of Su Chen's finger. When he saw the mountain-like greater Kiliacosm lightning light stones, he was completely stunned. After a long time, he came back to his senses and asked blankly, Su Chen, how heavy is this greater Kiliacosm lightning light stone? At least 200,000 jin, Su Chen thought for a while and answered conservatively. The greater Kiliacosm lightning light mountain was much heavier than the primary 5 extremes mountain. The primary 5 extremes mountain weighed 108,000 caddies, so the greater Kiliacosm lightning light mountain weighed 200,000 caddies. Hiss! Hearing this weight, Wu Yazi and Qi Mufeng both sucked in a breath of cold air. The value of such a huge piece of greater 1,000 thunderlight stone was inestimable. It could be said that Su Chen had definitely made a fortune this time. It won't be a problem to forge a few thousand swords. Wu Yazi took a breath and replied. Su Chen was delighted and said, Senior, please help me forge 5,000 swords. How many? Wu Yazi's eyes widened, thinking that he had heard wrongly. 5,000, Su Chen replied affirmatively. Wu Yazi and Qi Mufeng were stunned. They even suspected that Su Chen was going to forge saint swords to sell. Otherwise, how could one person need so many? Su Chen, what do you need so many for? Wu Yazi asked, puzzled. Su Chen did not hide and explained, I want to cultivate a swordsmanship, and I need 5,000 saint swords. To cultivate the 10,000 swords into 1 to the 3rd stage, he needed 5,000 saint swords, 2,500 magic swords, and 2,500 spiritual power swords. He was already holding back by saying this. Chapter 898. What kind of swordsmanship required 5,000 holy swords? Was this still something a human could cultivate? If one could really cultivate it successfully, the power of 5,000 holy swords alone was enough to destroy the world. Who in the world could stop it? Wu Yazi and Qi Mufeng were stunned. Su Chen, I'm afraid I can't forge so many holy swords alone. Wu Yazi sighed. Since Su Chen said so, he would definitely not speak without thinking. However, holy swords were not so easy to forge. Even if he was a master craftsman, it was impossible for him to forge so many holy swords alone. Su Chen naturally knew this. After thinking for a moment, he asked, Senior, there should be many master craftsmen in your dwarf race, right? After that, he would go to other foreign races' realms. The dwarf race's continent naturally would not miss it. If there were master craftsmen, he could bring them along to assist Wu Yazi. Wu Yazi understood what Su Chen meant and nodded. Our dwarf race is best at refining weapons. There are hundreds, thousands, or even dozens of master craftsmen. When we enter the dwarf race's continent, I'll have to trouble Senior to find a few more master craftsmen, Su Chen said with a smile. Wu Yazi's heart skipped a beat. If he went to the dwarf race's continent, he would definitely fight with Ji Zhangzi. With Su Chen around, he could take revenge. Don't worry. Wu Yazi nodded heavily. Later, Su Chen sent Wu Yazi and the Great Thousand Lightning Stone into the chaos space. Then he took out the 500-kilogram Great Kiliacosm Lightning Stone from his storage bag and handed it to Qi Mufeng. Su Chen, you're giving it to me? Qi Mufeng was a little confused. Brother Qi, I have a use for the big one, so I'll give you this small one, Su Chen said casually. In recent days, Qi Mufeng had followed him and worked hard without complaint, so he had to give him some benefits. Qi Mufeng hesitated for a moment and said gratefully, Su Chen, thank you. If it was anything else, he would definitely not accept it. However, the major Kiliacosm Thunder Light Stone could be used to forge lightning-type sacred swords, which could perfectly complement his myriad thunder transformation sword art. Once he obtained a lightning-type sacred sword, the power of the myriad lightning sword transformation technique would definitely rise to a whole new level. Therefore, he did not refuse. We're all brothers, there's no need to be so formal. Su Chen replied with a smile. Then, he took out the intelligent war chariot and ordered it to return the way it came. Su Chen, are we going to stay here for a few days or return to the Green Turtle continent? On the way, Qi Mufeng asked. Since the zombies here are harboring evil intentions and want to harm me, there is no need for them to exist. Su Chen's eyes flashed with killing intent. Qi Mufeng knew that a bloodbath was about to take place in the zombie nation. He couldn't help but sigh. He could offend anyone but Su Chen. Otherwise, they would really be exterminated. For the next 10 days, Su Chen led everyone in a massacre in the zombie nation. They killed all the remaining Saint-level zombies and countless zombies of other levels. The total number of energy points had already exceeded the 200,000 mark. The harvest was huge. Su Chen was very satisfied with this result, so he didn't want to stay here any longer. Satoshi, find the boundary point to return to the Green Turtle continent and return immediately. The intelligent war chariot quickly found the boundary point and activated the shuttle function, successfully returning to the Green Turtle continent. The location where it appeared was still in the valley. Looking at the Saint-level Green Turtle continent that had turned back into a stone statue, Su Chen opened the door and got out of the car with a smile. Su Chen pondered for a while and said to the intelligent war chariot, "Satoshi, is there a boundary point to enter the dwarf continent or the undead continent?" "Master, there isn't any here, but there is a boundary point between the Imperial Beast continent and the undead continent," the intelligent war chariot replied. "Let's go to the Beast Tamers continent first," Su Chen ordered. The Green Turtle continent had a boundary point that connected to the Imperial Beast continent. He had entered the Imperial Beast continent from the Green Turtle continent a long time ago. Yes. There was a boundary point that connected to the Imperial Beast continent nearby. The intelligent war chariot activated its shuttle function and successfully entered the Imperial Beast continent, appearing in the sky above a city. This city was huge. Not only was it huge, but the population was also over 1 million. Su Chen glanced at the central control screen and said calmly, "Satoshi, let's leave this place." Chapter 900. Su Chen, aren't you going to kill the mutated tribesmen here? Qi Mufeng asked softly. In the past, Su Chen would be extremely jealous whenever he saw mutated tribesmen. He wouldn't stop until they were all dead. However, there were so many mutated tribesmen in the city below. Why would Su Chen let them go? This wasn't Su Chen's usual style of doing things. Qi Mufeng didn't understand. The others also didn't understand what was going on. They all looked at Su Chen. "I want to kill them too, but I can't." Su Chen smiled bitterly and told them about the agreement he made with the patriarch of the beast-taming tribe. After they understood what was going on, everyone was relieved. At the same time, they were secretly impressed by Su Chen's courage. He could force a sage-level patriarch to compromise when he was only level 8. This was definitely not something an ordinary person could achieve. The sudden appearance of the intelligent war chariot caused a huge panic in the city below. Soon, 2 level 8 cultivators piloted an aircraft and approached the intelligent war chariot. "The people inside, listen up. Land your aircraft, or we'll kill you on the spot." One of the cultivators was extremely arrogant as he roared. Su Chen rubbed his nose and said softly, "Satoshi, land." The arrogance of the beast-taming tribesman didn't make him angry. Instead, he was secretly happy. In his agreement with the patriarch of the beast-taming tribe, he specifically stated that the beast-taming tribesmen couldn't provoke him. Otherwise, he would attack them. The 2 beast-taming tribesmen in front of him had obviously broken the rules. It wasn't wrong for him to use this as an excuse to get angry. After the intelligent war chariot landed, Su Chen walked out alone. He deliberately suppressed his cultivation level to level 6. When the 2 level 8 beast-taming tribesmen saw that Su Chen was a human at level 6, they attacked Su Chen without hesitation. No matter where Su Chen came from, they planned to capture Su Chen first. "What are you trying to do?" A hint of panic appeared on Su Chen's face. It was as if he was intimidated by the other party's aura. "Kid, don't resist. Surrender." One of the level 8 beast-taming tribesmen laughed sinisterly and reached out his hand to grab Su Chen. A sinister smile appeared on Su Chen's face. Just as the beast-taming tribesman got close, he threw a punch. There was an explosion. The level 8 beast-tamer clansmen that had rushed forward were reduced to dust. Not even their bones were left. The other level 8 beast-tamer clan member was dumbfounded. He was trembling all over. The beast-taming tribesmen's men to retreat to them. They taming tribesmen's was tamed, teat to them to fight taming tribesmen. Heat taming tribesmen to that men. T's taming tribesmen, SSTs? The level 8 beast-taming tribesman swallowed hard. Just as he was about to beg Su Chen for mercy, Su Chen interrupted him angrily. You beast-taming tribesmen broke the rules and attacked me. You're shameless. Since that's the case, don't blame me, Su Chen, for being merciless. Qi Mufeng and the others didn't know what Su Chen was trying to do at first. But now, they realized that Su Chen was trying to take the opportunity to vent his anger and cause a bloodbath on the beast-taming tribesmen's continent. Although it was despicable, it was the beast-taming tribesmen who attacked first. Su Chen didn't want to let this go. Even if he massacred the beast-taming tribesmen, it wouldn't be a violation of the heavenly oath. How treacherous! Qi Muxue cursed in her heart. Chapter 901. What? He's Su Chen. After Su Chen announced his name, all the beast tamers were dumbfounded. Su Chen's name was well known in the beast tamer continent. The Southern Barbarian Sacred Leader and the Northern Barbarian Sacred Leader, two super powerhouses, were killed by Su Chen. There were even rumors that the current Su Chen could even kill a saint-level powerhouse. His strength was unparalleled, and he was extremely ferocious. Anyone who provoked him, no matter which faction or clan they were from, was killed by Su Chen without exception. It could be said that Su Chen's ferocious name was well known in the world. Almost everyone knew about him. Moreover, their grand ancestor had already given a death order that no one was to provoke Su Chen. Otherwise, their entire family would be annihilated. However, they took the initiative to provoke Su Chen. What would the consequences be? Would Su Chen massacre the entire city? It was rumored that Su Chen would massacre entire cities and clans at the slightest provocation. It seemed like he had a special hobby. At the thought of this, all the beast tamers were on tenterhooks. Their hearts were in turmoil. Su Chen roared. Aiming at the level 8 beast tamers, he raised his hand and threw out a Pegasus meteor punch. 100 golden fist shadows fell. Not only did the level 8 beast tamers turn into dregs, but thousands of them were also killed. Seeing that Su Chen was as ferocious as the rumors said, the remaining beast tamers did not dare to stay any longer. They all fled for their lives. A cruel smile flashed across Su Chen's lips. Just as he was about to continue his attack, a figure flew toward him, bringing with it a huge pressure and an extremely strong murderous aura. Who dares to behave atrociously in the beast tamer continent? Do you want to die? As soon as he finished speaking, a silver-haired old man from the beast tamer continent appeared in front of him. Judging from his aura, he was a saint-level powerhouse. And there was only one saint-level powerhouse on the beast tamer continent. That was the grand ancestor of the beast tamer continent. Old man, we meet again. Su Chen narrowed his eyes and glanced at the other party, smiling faintly. It's you, Su Chen. The patriarch of the beast tamer tribe gulped when he saw Su Chen's face. His expression turned extremely ugly. At this moment, the pressure and murderous aura emanating from his body also disappeared without a trace. Su Chen could even kill saint-rank gold-devouring beetles. Being arrogant in front of him was the same as courting death. Su Chen, we had an agreement before. Why are you slaughtering my clansmen here? Aren't you afraid of being punished by the heavenly Tao? The patriarch of the beast tamer clan asked in a muffled voice after catching his breath. We have an agreement, but the prerequisite is that you don't provoke me. Unfortunately, your clansmen took the initiative to attack me, so I could only retaliate. Su Chen spread out his hands and looked very helpless. Take the initiative to attack you? You are notorious for your ferocity. Who would want to die and take the initiative to attack you? The patriarch of the Beast Tamer tribe guessed that Su Chen must have concealed his identity on purpose to bait his clansmen and take the opportunity to get angry. At this thought, the patriarch of the Beast Tamer tribe gnashed his teeth in anger. However, there was nothing he could do to Su Chen. Since we are at fault, what do you want to let us go? The patriarch of the Beast Tamer tribe gritted his teeth and suppressed his anger. Based on his understanding of Su Chen, he was sure that Su Chen would take the opportunity to extort a sum of money from him. Even if he had to pay a price to get rid of Su Chen, he would accept it as long as he could get rid of him as soon as possible. Since you know what's good for you, I'll do you a favor. Su Chen pondered for a moment and then said, "Give me 1,000 blood gems and I'll let this matter pass." 1,000 blood gems? Qi Mufeng and the others were stunned. Blood gems were not cabbages. Each one of them was priceless. Su Chen's demand for 1,000 blood gems was too big. How black-hearted! Qi Muxue could not help but sigh. Chapter 902. Are you kidding me? The ancestor of the beast-taming clan opened his mouth wide and almost choked to death. He had been aggrieved for a long time when Su Chen had extorted 100 blood gems from him. He had not expected Su Chen to go overboard and raise the price tenfold. How could he bully him like this? He was not treating him as a human being. Do you think I'm kidding? Su Chen's face darkened. He snorted and released his mind power. You, the ancestor of the beast-taming clan, was furious that Su Chen would suddenly attack him. He had intended to tear apart Su Chen's mind power. However, he was horrified to find that Su Chen's mind power was like a vast ocean. No matter how hard he struggled, it was futile. Let's talk things over. The ancestor of the beast-taming clan cried out in panic. Can't you just be honest? Why did you have to force me to attack? Su Chen snorted and withdrew his mind power, freeing the ancestor of the beast-taming clan. He had not intended to kill the ancestor of the beast-taming clan. He had only done so to intimidate the ancestor of the beast-taming clan. The ancestor of the beast-taming clan got up and panted heavily. He was still terrified. He had personally experienced Su Chen's strength, which was even more powerful than the rumors said. If he wanted Su Chen to stop, he would have to satisfy Su Chen's request. I can give you the blood gems, but I only have 900 of them, the ancestor of the beast-taming clan said with a sigh. Only 900, Su Chen rubbed his nose and muttered thoughtfully. I can replace the rest with other ores and energy stones. The ancestor of the beast-taming clan hurriedly said, as if he was afraid that Su Chen would be angry. Good boy. Su Chen praised him with a smile. He then stretched out his hand in front of the ancestor of the beast-taming clan. His meaning was clear. Hurry up and take it. Stop wasting time. The patriarch of the beast-taming clan did not hesitate. He removed a storage bag from his waist and handed it to Su Chen. Su Chen released his mental power to check it. After confirming that there were no mistakes, he naturally put it into his storage bag. Seeing this, the ancestor of the beast-tamer clan felt as if his heart was bleeding. The things in the storage bag were the savings of half his life, and they were gone just like that. He wanted to cry but had no tears. Su Chen stepped forward and patted the Imperial Beast Tribe elder's shoulder. He said in a serious tone, "Seeing that you're so sensible, just mention my name if you run into any trouble in the future. I'll protect you." Thank you so much. The ancestor of the beast-tamer clan smiled bitterly. Then we'll meet again if fate wills it. Su Chen called out, returned to the intelligent war chariot, and quickly flew away. Looking at the receding shadow of the intelligent war chariot, the patriarch of the beast-tamer clan muttered with a dark face, I hope I never see you again. While the intelligent war chariot was looking for the boundary point connecting to the continent of the undead tribe, Su Chen gathered everyone and began to distribute the blood gems. The blood gems could not only be integrated into weapons to upgrade their level, but they could also be used to forge divine weapons. In the past, he would not have given them away so easily. However, with the Grand Thousand Thunder Light Mountain, he could forge 5,000 divine swords. The blood gems were not of much use to him. He might as well share some with everyone. Su-chin, I don't want them. Qi Mufeng declined. Su-chin had given him a 500-pound Grand Thousand Thunder Light Stone, so he was too embarrassed to accept it. Brother Qi, keep them for later use. Su-chin gave Qi Mufeng dozens of blood gems. Nan Linchuan and the others also got some, enough to forge a divine weapon. Su-chin even gave Qi Muyu 10 blood gems. Qi Muxue watched helplessly as everyone else got their share except her. She gritted her teeth and asked, Su-chin, what about me? Su-chin glanced at Qi Muxue in a daze and said flatly, it depends on your performance. Damn it. Qi Muxue was furious. She knew Su-chin was targeting her, but she could do nothing about it because she was under the control of Su-chin. Chapter 903. The intelligent war chariot spent a day to find the boundary point that connected to the undead continent and successfully entered the undead continent. Su-chin called Emo Rong to his side and asked him, Old Emo, where is Yenxingi? Yenxingi was originally Emo Rong's best friend, but he murdered Emo Rong for the sake of his greed. Su-chin hated such despicable people the most, and he had promised Emo Rong that he would avenge him. Since he had come to the undead continent, the first thing he had to do was to kill Yenxingi. Master, Yenxingi is the city lord of Strong Sky City. He should be in Strong Sky City, Emo Rong said excitedly. Su-chin nodded slightly and ordered, lead the way to Strong Sky City. Emo Rong replied. After that, under Emo Rong's guidance, the intelligent war chariot drove in a certain direction. 2 days later, when they were passing by a town, Su-chin unexpectedly found traces of a human. The probability of a human appearing in the undead continent was very small, and he could not help but notice it. Satoshi, lock onto this human and enlarge the image, Su-chin ordered. The image on the central control screen changed, and a red-haired middle-aged man soon appeared. It's him! Su-chin was extremely surprised when he saw the other party's face clearly. He still remembered that he had asked the red-haired man, Lu Yuan, for information in the Long Valley Mountains of Qinyu Island. Lu Yuan lived in the Yulin district of Qinyu Island. How could he come to the undead continent? Su-chin was very confused, and at the same time, he saw that Lu Yuan's situation was very bad. At this time, he was being beaten by a few undead clansmen on the ground. Su-chin thought for a moment and let the intelligent war chariot stop outside the town. He got off the chariot alone to check out the situation. After all, they were all humans, and Lu Yuan had helped him before, so he did not intend to ignore him. When Su-chin came close, he raised his voice and said, Everyone, stop. Because it was Emo Rong, he did not choose to kill. Otherwise, just the reason of torturing humans was enough to turn this town into a river of blood. Su-chin's sudden voice made everyone stunned for a moment. Then they all looked at Su-chin. Boy, this is none of your business. Get lost. An undead man glanced at Su-chin and said disdainfully. However, as soon as he finished speaking, his eyes widened and he exclaimed, You're from the human race? Humans? The other undead reacted and surrounded Su-chin. Su-chin ignored him and turned to look at Lu Yuan with a faint smile. Uncle, long time no see. Su-chin. Lu Yuan shouted excitedly when he saw that it was Su-chin. As they were both humans, he believed that Su-chin would definitely save him. He's Su-chin. When the group of undead heard Su-chin's name, their faces changed dramatically, and they all stepped back. The few people who had beaten Lu Yuan looked at each other, then turned around and fled. Su-chin's name was not only famous in the human continent, but also in the alien continent. It was rumored that Su-chin was like a devil, especially cruel, especially when it came to the alien race. He was simply ruthless. Few people who offended him could survive. Since Su-chin and Lu Yuan knew each other, they were probably friends. Beating up Su-chin's friends was no different from courting death. If they did not run away, were they going to wait for death? If you dare to move, I will make you regret living in this world. Su-chin sneered. Without figuring out what was going on, none of the people here could leave. Chapter 904. The undead were so scared that they stopped in their tracks, and no one dared to move. After shocking everyone, Suchen asked Lu Yuan, "Tell me, what's going on?" Lu Yuan got up from the ground and respectfully replied, "Senior, we were all captured." Suchen frowned slightly and asked, "Are there many other humans besides you?" "Not many, including me, there are 5 people." Lu Yuan quickly replied. "Why did they capture you?" Suchen asked. Lu Yuan was only a level 2 cultivator. It could be said that he was nothing. So why did the undead want to capture him? This made him feel very strange. Lu Yuan explained, "The people who were captured are all related to Senior. Half a year ago, a large number of foreigners poured into Qianyu Island. Anyone who had a relationship with Su Chen was captured, and those who had nothing to do with him were almost slaughtered. Because he had met Su Chen once, he was mistakenly recognized as having a relationship with Su Chen and was also captured. However, because of this, he was able to live until now, otherwise, he would have been killed long ago." "People related to me?" Su Chen muttered, and his eyes suddenly lit up. In Qianyu Island, the only people who had a good relationship with him were Han Kuan and Han Feng. That day, he searched Qianyu Island but could not find the whereabouts of these 3 people. Originally, he thought that the 3 of them had been killed, but now, listening to Lu Yuan, they were likely to have been captured and brought to the undead's continent. "Who else was captured?" Su Chen asked. "There are also Han Kuan, Han Feng, Chen Meihua, and Ji Wushuang." Lu Yuan said truthfully. "Sure enough." Su Chen secretly said. Now that he knew the news of Han Kuan and others, he naturally wanted to rescue them. However, what made him a little confused was, who was this Ji Wushuang? What did she have to do with him? Who is Ji Wushuang? Su Chen wondered. Lu Yuan thought that since Ji Wushuang was captured, she must know Su Chen. Who would have thought that Su Chen would ask such a question? After being stunned for a moment, he described Ji Wushuang's appearance. After Su Chen heard this, he could not help but laugh. Ji Wushuang was none other than the white-haired old man he had met several times in Thousand Feather Island's Yulin district. After figuring it out, Su Chen continued to ask, "Where are Han Kuan and the others?" "The Yao clan bought it," Lu Yuan quickly replied. "Demon race?" Su Chen's brows furrowed again. Han Kuan and the others were captured by the undead. How could the demon race be involved? Or was it bought? Lu Yuan explained, "Senior, you should have some conflict with the demon race, right? They seem to want to use Han Kuan and the others to threaten you." Su Chen had a deep grudge with the demon race. He had killed many of the demon race's members, including their devourer beast. However, the demon race dared to use Han Kuan and the others to threaten him. Their courage was not ordinary. The fate of those who angered him was often the extermination of their family. Would a mere demon race dare to do this? Su Chen took a deep breath and asked, "Why are you still here?" Han Kuan and the others had been bought, so why was Lu Yuan left behind? "Because I only met Senior once, the demon race felt that I had no value, so they didn't buy me," Lu Shishir said. Su Chen shook his head and no longer entangled in this matter. He turned to the undead around him and said, "My friends were bought by someone from the demon race?" How big was the demon race's mainland? If he wanted to save Han Kuan and the others, he must first determine the buyer. Chapter 905. Senior, we don't know either. "It's all Lord Wenqing's doing," one of the undead clan members said anxiously. "Where is Wenqing?" Su Chen asked coldly. "Yuyuan City." Su Chen nodded and instantly released his mind energy. Other than the undead clan member who replied, he killed the rest. After collecting the fragments, he said to Lu Yuan, "Follow me." "Thank you, Senior." Lu Yuan was overjoyed and followed closely behind Su Chen. The 2 of them returned to the intelligent war chariot. Su Chen asked Mo Rong, "Old Mo, do you know Yuan City?" Mo Rong nodded. "Lead the way to Yuyuan City first," Su Chen ordered. Behind them, under Mo Rong's guidance, the intelligent war chariot hurried toward Yuyuan City. Half a day later, they arrived at Yuyuan City. Su Chen learned from Mo Rong that Wenqing was a level 9 cultivator and also the governor of Yuyuan City. Through the intelligent war chariot's observation, there was only one level 9 cultivator in Yuyuan City. It was very likely that Wenqing was there. After locking onto Wenqing's specific location, Su Chen went alone and entered Yuyuan City directly from the sky. Wenqing's residence was a large manor, and there were many guards standing guard inside. Su Chen descended from the sky and gave the guards a fright. After they came to their senses, they surrounded Su Chen. Su Chen narrowed his eyes and shouted, "Wenqing, get out here. Otherwise, I'll make Yuyuan City a bloodbath." "Arrogant kid, you're courting death." Seeing Su Chen's unscrupulous behavior, the guards scolded and attacked Su Chen at the same time. Su Chen snorted and released his mind energy. Shrill cries instantly rang out from within the manor. None of the several hundred guards were spared, and all of them were annihilated and turned into piles of meat paste. Suddenly, a woman's furious roar entered Su Chen's ears. Soon after, more than 10 high-level cultivators rushed over aggressively. The person in the lead was a woman with a voluptuous figure and a cold appearance. Mo Rong had told him that Wenqing was a woman. The cold-looking woman was also at level 9. She must be Wenqing. "Human, who are you? Why are you being so presumptuous in my residence?" Wenqing coldly glanced at Su Chen and questioned sternly. The reason why he didn't make a move immediately was because he was afraid of Su Chen's strength. Hundreds of guards in the manor were slaughtered in the blink of an eye. This kind of hunting speed was something that even she could not achieve. "You captured my friend and sold her to the demon race. Who do you think I am?" Su Chen narrowed his eyes and sneered. "Did they kidnap your friend?" Suddenly, a person's name appeared in Wenqing's mind. "You're Su Chen." Wenqing's delicate body trembled violently, and she screamed in shock. When the people around her heard Su Chen's name, they all trembled, and their expressions became unusually ugly. Su Chen was infamous. In the eyes of all the foreign tribes, he was like a demon. Almost no one who was targeted by Su Chen could survive. Instantly, a feeling of fear spread in their hearts. "Senior, we had no choice. The demon race forced us to do this," Wenqing hurriedly explained. She knew very well that everyone present would not be Su Chen's opponent even if they were to join forces. If she wanted to live, she could only beg for Su Chen's forgiveness. Forced to no choice? Su Chen snorted and raised his hand to punch out. A strong gust of wind blew past. Before the people around Wenqing could react, they were blown to pieces. Chapter 906. Seeing this, Wenqing was scared out of her wits. Her legs went soft and she knelt on the ground. She shouted, "Senior, please spare my life. Which goblin clan did you sell my friends to?" Su Chen stared at Wenqing and questioned her. "Lord Sky Devouring of the Goblin Clan. He is a sage-level existence." Wenqing replied truthfully. "Sky Devouring?" Su Chen muttered to himself and wondered if Sky Devouring was a devouring beast. At this moment, Wenqing raised her head with a charming smile on her face. She said coquettishly, "Senior, please spare my life. I will serve you well." Su Chen understood the meaning behind Wenqing's words. A sense of disgust surged in his heart. Then he punched out and exploded Wenqing's body. After collecting the fragments, Su Chen did not stay any longer. He turned and walked out of the city. Satoshi, continue to Robust Sky City. Su Chen returned to the car and ordered. The Goblin clan probably bought Han Kuan and the others to threaten him. Before they met him, Han Kuan and the others would not be in any danger. After settling the matters here, he would be able to make it to the Goblin clan's mainland. One day later, the intelligent war chariot arrived at Robust Sky City. Robust Sky City was considered medium-sized with a population of only a few tens of thousands. However, the city was bustling with noise and excitement today. Su Chen captured an undead clan member and found out that the governor of Robust Sky City, Yan Xingyi, was getting married to the granddaughter of a sage-level expert. The wedding of a sage-level expert's granddaughter was not a child's play. Therefore, it attracted many experts to congratulate them. There were a few known saint-level experts, and the number of cultivators below the saint level was even more than the number of hairs on an ox. "Master, are we still going in?" Mo Rong asked. There were many experts in robust Sky City, including a few sage-level experts. This worried him. "Of course we are going in." Su Chen did not care. The main purpose of this trip was to kill Yan Xingyi. If they became his hunting target, they would have no chance of survival. No matter who it was, they would not be able to stop him. Furthermore, there were so many experts in robust Sky City. If he were to kill all of them, he would be able to obtain a huge amount of fragments. He could not afford to miss this opportunity. "Satoshi, enter the city," Su Chen ordered. The intelligent war chariot activated its flight mode and flew above Tianjin City. A few minutes later, they arrived at a palace-like building complex. In a huge square, there were thousands of people gathered around. There was a hubbub of voices, and it was very lively. When the intelligent war chariot flew to the square, the entire square became silent. Everyone stared at the intelligent war chariot with wide eyes. His eyes were filled with confusion, and anger. This place was the wedding venue of Tianjin City's city lord. There were many strong martial artists gathered here. Who would dare to be so arrogant as to barge in without notifying? Was he tired of living? The intelligent chariot landed in the square under everyone's gaze. The moment the door opened, Su Chen walked out of the chariot with Mo Rong following behind him. Seeing that it was a young human and an undead tribesman who got out of the chariot, everyone present was dumbfounded. However, when a handsome undead tribesman saw Mo Rong, his eyelids twitched. He cried out, "Mo Rong, you're still alive?" Mo Rong clenched his fists and said coldly, "Yan Xingyi, you're not dead yet. Of course, I won't die." Although he felt uneasy in this place, when he thought of Su Chen beside him, he became bolder. Chapter 907. There's a path to heaven, but you chose to barge into hell. Let's see how you're going to escape today. Yan Xingyi regained his senses and laughed impudently. Who is this person? Beside Yan Xingyi, a burly old man glanced at Mo Rong and asked plainly, "What do you think?" "Father-in-law, this is the guy who wanted to steal my level 9 energy stone and murder me." Yan Xingyi replied respectfully. He was the one who had taken the level 9 energy stone, but now he was making false accusations. He was showing his shameless side to the extreme. Mo Rong was furious. Just as he was about to retort, Su Chen said softly, "Ignore him. He's just a clown." Hearing this, Mo Rong took a deep breath and stopped talking. When the coarse old man found out about Mo Rong's identity, a murderous look appeared on his face. He snorted coldly. "Mo Rong, as a member of the undead clan, not only did you murder your own people, you even dared to collude with humans. Do you know your crime?" Suddenly, a terrifying pressure came crashing down on Mo Rong from all directions. Su Chen snorted coldly and raised his hand to punch out. The air shook, and the aura that swept over was destroyed. "Kitor." The coarse old man stared at Su Chen and exclaimed softly. There were many people present who could destroy his aura with one punch, but they had to be at least level 10. Su Chen looked young. How high could his cultivation be? How could he do this? "You don't have the right to know who I am." Su Chen pursed his lips and sneered. As soon as he said this, everyone around him sucked in a breath of cold air. The coarse old man was a true sage-level powerhouse. Everyone had to give him some face. This human male in front of him dared to humiliate him like this. He was too arrogant. The coarse old man's expression froze. He suppressed the anger in his heart and said coldly, "It's fine if you don't want to say it. What's your purpose here?" Su Chen's calmness and composure made him mutter to himself, so he wanted to learn more about him before making a move. Su Chen rubbed his nose and glanced around. He said lightly, "I only have one purpose here, and that is to kill Yan Xingyi. Of course, if you want to stop me, I don't mind killing all of you." As soon as he finished speaking, the entire square fell into a suffocating silence. Everyone's eyes fell on Su-Chen. They really couldn't understand how this young human in front of them dared to boast to such an extent. One had to know that almost all the top powerhouses of the undead continent were gathered in the square, and there were 4 saint-level powerhouses. Su-Chen wanted to kill all of them. His brain must have been flooded with water. Even if he wanted to die, he shouldn't take it so hard, right? Human, I'm standing right here. Come and kill me if you can. After a long time, Yan Xingyi regained his senses and challenged. In his opinion, there were many powerhouses among the people present. Even if Su-Chen was also a saint, he would not be able to hurt him at all. As you wish. Su-Chen's feet instantly shone with a purple light. Then his figure moved and disappeared on the spot like a ghost. When he reappeared, he was already in front of Yan Xingyi. How is this possible? Yan Xingyi was scared out of his wits. His face was filled with deep fear. He had never seen such a fast speed. After realizing the danger, he desperately retreated. However, what made him even more frightened was that he found that his whole body was entangled by an invisible force and could not move at all. Chapter 908. Don't even think about it. The coarse old man roared and threw a punch at Su-Chen. The punch of a sage-level expert was not a child's play. When the punch was thrown, the void seemed to shatter and made a cracking sound. Get lost. Su-Chen snorted and waved his hand, hitting the coarse old man's fist. There was a muffled bang. The coarse old man felt as if he had been hit by a mountain. Not only did his fist shatter, but he was also pushed back by more than 10 steps. You overestimate yourself. Su-Chen did not pursue him. Instead, he grabbed Yan Xingyi's neck with one hand and returned to his original position in a few flashes. He then threw Yan Xingyi to the ground. Witnessing this scene, the surroundings fell into an eerie silence once again. Su-Chen captured Yan Xingyi in a flash and defeated the coarse old man. There was no doubt about his terrifying strength. At this point, everyone no longer looked at Su-Chen with contempt. Instead, they looked at him with deep respect and fear. Although Su-Chen had only casually thrown a blow, it had completely stunned everyone. Senior, I was wrong. Please give me a chance. Yan Xingyi knelt at Su-Chen's feet and begged loudly for mercy. Even a sage-level expert could not stop Su-Chen. If he wanted to live, he could only beg for Su-Chen's forgiveness. Su-Chen glanced at him coldly and released his mental strength to crush Yan Xingyi's limbs. With 4 explosive sounds, Yan Xingyi's limbs exploded. He fell into a pool of blood and was reduced to a human stick. Yan Xingyi was in so much pain that he wanted to die. He screamed like a pig being slaughtered. It was too cruel. Witnessing this bloody scene, the expressions of the undead clan members changed. The fear in their hearts deepened. Even the sage-level experts' expressions became unusually grave. Old Emo, I'll leave this guy to you. After crippling Yan Xingyi, Su-Chen gave Emo Rong a look. Thank you, master. Emo Rong knew that Su-Chen wanted him to take revenge personally. After expressing his gratitude, he began to torture Yan Xingyi mercilessly. He had been by Su-Chen's side for a period of time and had been influenced by what he saw and heard. He had also learned a few tricks. Crack. The bone-chilling sound of bones breaking continued to resound. Every crack caused the hearts of everyone present to tremble. Seeing Yan Xingyi being tortured to death, no one present dared to stop it. There was no other reason. Su-Chen was standing on the side, eyeing them covetously. If anyone dared to stand out, they would probably become an ice-cold corpse in the next moment. 5 minutes later, Yan Xingyi suffered a round of inhumane torture and finally died with hatred. Human, who are you? At this moment, a one-eyed old man could not help but ask. He was also a saint-level existence. As the top existence of the undead continent, he had always ignored Su-Chen and allowed him to do whatever he wanted. My name is Su-Chen. Su-Chen smiled faintly. Su-Chen, he was Su-Chen. A person's name was like a tree's shadow. In the undead continent, Even ordinary people knew of Su Chen's name. These powerful people were even more familiar with him. After knowing Su Chen's true identity, the huge square seemed to be shrouded in a haze. It was heavy and oppressive. Everyone started to kick and feel uneasy. Rumor had it that Su Chen was extremely cruel and loved to slaughter people of the mutated tribe. Now that he had appeared here, could it be that he wanted to exterminate the undead tribe? The one-eyed old man was shocked. He stared blankly at Su Chen and did not know what to do for a moment. The coarse old man's face was even paler. Previously, he had taken the initiative to attack Su Chen. Would Su Chen let him go? You're tuning in to the Dreamy Chapters YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.